And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you are watching ABL Live. It's going to be a good one today. I thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. You could be anywhere. You could be watching MS-13 NBC. You could be watching Clinton News Network. You could be watching CNN. All that good stuff with you right here with me. I definitely appreciate you for that. It's a lot on deck for today. Of course, Trump got acquitted like we all knew that he would. Mitt Romney came out there grandstanding, crying, all this, that, and the third for no reason because Trump, at the end of the day, got acquitted like we all knew that he would get acquitted. The State of the Union address was fantastic. He did not mention the impeachment process one time. There was no need. There are so many things positive going on in the country that we don't need to even bring up the whole impeachment kerfuffle. And it's over, so who cares? What are they going to do now that the president has been acquitted, that he is not guilty, that he's not going to get kicked out? What are they going to do now? Oh, they were partisan. They acted in a partisan way. That didn't. Come on, be for real. This whole thing was partisan from the beginning on the left. There was no reason to actually impeach him, except for the fact that many of the people on the left had promised their constituents that they were going to impeach him. This is fantastic, but you know what? This is a preview of the election in November. I can't wait. What about y'all? We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. If you like the content, if you want to see more, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helps me out a whole lot. And I thank y'all for being here yet again. Like I said, you could be anywhere, but you're right here with me live on the show. And I thank y'all for that 1000%. Now, impeachment. We're done with that whole situation now. I'm not really sure what the left are going to say. What are they going to do that their precious impeachment has been beaten? That they can't say, oh, he's being impeached, he's going to be removed. Come on. People have been talking about it for years. I mean, this has been going on really, like, if we're going to be honest, this has been going on since, I say probably 2016 at the latest, maybe even 2015 when he announced. You know, definitely 2017, people like Maxine Waters talking about we're going to impeach him. Rashida Tlaib, she said that when she got elected, that night she got elected, we're going to impeach the mother effer. Remember that? Impeach. Now the left has gone crazy. They're talking about, like, I don't even know what they're doing. Matter of fact, hold on. I got a video for you guys I want to show right quick. Now this video pretty much encapsulates what's happening with the left right now. And once you see it, I think you'll pretty much agree with the sentiment that I'm trying to get across. Hold on. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and load it up right quick. There we have it. Now, these people are protesting outside of the Capitol, if I'm not mistaken. And this is like a grate on the ground. If you've been in DC, you'll see them all the time. I think it's like electrical stuff down here. And let's see what they're doing at this particular spot on the ground. They're on the ground, on the floor outside. Let's see what they're saying. So if you don't know what they're saying, if you can't make it out, they're saying convict and remove, convict and remove, convict. And they're screaming into the actual ground. I don't know who they're trying to talk to. They're trying to talk to Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Master Splinter, Ninja Turtles. They're trying to hopefully scream into the ground so maybe people on the inside will be able to hear them. Maybe they think this tunnel leads to a particular part of the White House. I don't know what they're actually doing. But they're literally on the ground going like this, screaming into the floor, into the ground floor outside. Like, do they think that people can see them with their signs through the grate? And then they're like banging on it as well. It's like, Ma'am, sir, whatever your pronouns are, this is not working out very well for you. You look ridiculous. And we're not even at the election time yet, okay? This is just, a early phase. We've not even really gotten past the primary yet. They don't even know who won Iowa yet. You understand? So we're doing this. We're on the ground, screaming at the floor. This is a sad state of affairs, and I was listening to some of the C-SPAN calls last night, and people were just, sick of it. They were like, look, Nancy Pelosi out here tearing up the papers. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you that video. If you've not seen it for the 1,000th time, I'll show you that right quick as well. Tearing up papers. It's like, come on, this is ridiculous. She's pretty much done. Because I predict this. Here's a real hot take for you. I think that the president will not only capture the presidency in 2020, but Republicans will keep the Senate and take the House back. Why would you vote for this? Why would you want this person to be the Speaker of the House? Why? We'll take the House back and keep the Senate, and the president will be reelected, and that's it. So this individual over here will not be in that position anymore as Speaker of the House. Very simple. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's really a mess. And I think I have one more I wanted to show you very quick. This is all on my Instagram page, by the way. If you don't know, go to my Instagram. That's Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. That is ANTHONYBLOGAN. Here's another one right here. Now, this one was really funny because, the left keep talking about, the right, they're so homophobic. They're so against the LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G community. What they don't understand is that people are religious in this country, and that's not a political thing. Some people aren't down with all the crazy things that they're trying to propose out there on the left, and they're in their wacky world of thought. Let's see this video right here so you can understand what I'm talking about.
Same-sex partner?
He?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's married to him, yes.
Well, then I don't want anybody like that in the White House. So can I have my card back?
I don't know.
So if you didn't hear, she was like, hey, he's married to a same-sex partner? Seriously? Talking about Pete Buttigieg. And they're like, yeah, he's married to him. And she's like, well, I don't want a guy like that in the White House. Can I get my card back? Meaning the vote. I guess she gave a card to them to vote for Pete Buttigieg. She's like, can I get that back right now? I don't want to have a gay married man in the White House, but let's continue.
He signed it. We could go ask.
I never knew that.
Well, so the whole point of it is, though, if he's a human being, right? Just like you and me, and should it really matter? That's what.
Well, he better read the Bible.
He does, and he says that God doesn't choose a political party. Because
why does it say in the Bible that a man should marry a woman then?
I mean, that's a $1 million question right there. See, people like this woman, this represents like the normies out there that are not necessarily aware of what's happening politically, that are ignorant politically, that because most people really don't watch, like me and many of you out there may be news junkies. I don't know about everybody. I can't speak for everybody, but I am a news junkie. I live, breathe, eat, sleep news all day long. I read news, I watch news, I report on news. I'm a news guy. So I know all about these individuals and what they got going on. So of course I know. And I would think that she should know. If you vote for a guy, you should know some basic things about him. But people don't know. And she's like, look, I'm religious. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in gay marriage. And that's her right to feel that way. Now, the left won't call her a homophobe. They won't call her some kind of whatever. They may try to attack her for being white. But what they don't understand is, or maybe they don't get it quite yet, is that when they try to put Buttigieg out there in the black community, he's going to get some of the same reaction. Oh, it's going to be crucial. Like in South Carolina, he's pulling that 0%. Why? Because it's a high black population state. You're in the South. So he's pulling that 0%, although he is appeared to have won Iowa, which is 91% white. So you figure it out what's going to happen with that. He's more popular in some of these places where, it's not as traditional. Go to South Carolina, very religious, very Christian, Bible Belt. It just ain't happening. That's just the reality of the situation. Joe Biden is very popular out there because of Barack Obama. Now, I am going to say, if you're a Democrat, you know, how can you be Christian and support abortion? But I digress. The gay marriage thing is, in some people's minds, worse than abortion, like much worse. So Buttigieg has no chance. So like I said, this election cycle is off to a bang. I can't wait personally. I'm glad that Trump got, what's the word looking for? Trump got acquitted. I'm about to say impeached. He got impeached, yes, but then he got acquitted. He did not get convicted. Now, of course, Mitt Romney had to be this Lone Ranger out there talking about, oh, I got to do what's right. And did you guys see him live giving this little talk? He almost teared up. I'm like, sir, we don't got time for all the crying, sir. If you want to be, if you can't hold your emotions together, then you don't need to be in government. As a matter of fact, I'm hearing that he could be expelled from the GOP. Is that possible? You guys let me know in the chat if that's possible. I hope that he is expelled from the party, because obviously he doesn't belong there, talking about, oh, I agree with him on 80% of the things that he says. Okay, if that's the case, then why did you vote to convict, knowing that your vote wouldn't even matter? Even if you think he did something wrong, what's the point in trying to say, yeah, I'm going to vote to convict, although it's not going to make a difference? Just go with everybody else. If you agree with them 80% of the time, that should be enough right there. I mean, you can win an election in a place where you get 51% of the vote. You could win an election, like in a particular, like if Trump was to go campaign, well, he will go and campaign in all the states. Let's say Ohio, for example, he wins that particular state by 51%, he wins. So if you agree with him with 80% of the things, why would you vote to remove him from office? Because of what? Abuse of power, really? And then he had a nerve to talk about, oh, well, I know it's not a crime, but so what? It doesn't matter. So what? It doesn't matter. Sir, you're talking about removing a president, a sitting president in office for the first time ever. This is an historical thing. It ain't just like voting for your partner in the Uno game or Parcheesi or Baccarat, whatever you guys in the Ivory Tower at Bain Capital play. It ain't like that. This is a real thing here, sir. So I just don't see the logic, but you know, it could be something else going on. I'm hearing that Mitt Romney had some dealings in Ukraine. I don't know if that's true or not, so I can't officially say that, but I'm hearing that could be the case. And since Trump is trying to dig into Ukraine to see the corruption that's happening between some Ukrainian officials and American officials like Hunter Biden, calling them officials kind of weird, but you know what I'm saying, between the Americans and Ukrainians with the corruption, maybe he does not want him to really dig into it. But the protest vote is not going to stop him. If anything, that'll just put more of an eye on you. All eyes are now on Mitt Romney. And I'm hearing that the people of Utah are not happy. They're not happy at all. People are saying that you should have known he was a snake before he got into office. And that's true. And I think I'm a guy that gave him the benefit of the doubt. Always out there talking to Trump. He's having dinner with him and he's trying to do right. He's going to turn over a new leaf. Obviously, I was wrong. He did not turn over a new leaf, and now he's done this. But luckily, it won't hurt at all because Trump did get acquitted. The conviction thing is no longer on the table, and I'm just happy that we're right here right now to witness the whole thing play out. Yeah, all Democrats voted guilty, even Joe Manchin, R.I.P. Joe Manchin. Oh, he's a moderate. He won't. I can't tell. You know, and then he was trying to like come up with some type of plea. Oh, let's vote to censure him. Let's vote to censure. It's like, sir, either you're going to say yay or nay. Don't try to be weaseling your way out of it. Either you're going to say yay or nay, and that's it. And he said yay. And that's not really going to fly in West Virginia, which is Trump country. Didn't he win by like 42 points in West Virginia? I mean, like you guys may know, I was born in West Virginia. Both sides of my family are from there. I'm like a West Virginia native that grew up in Virginia. That's kind of how I look at it. So I know West Virginia, the people up there, they'll vote for a Democrat, but you got to be conservative. You can't just be like the California liberal stuff does not fly over there. And this impeachment thing is kind of a California liberal, like far leftist thing to do because he didn't actually do anything wrong. And they voted for him. It'd be different if he did a thing wrong. Like if they found somebody tied up in the White House bleeding from their mouth or something like that, and then they caught Trump on videotape doing something crazy to him, some violence, that'd be different, okay? You're talking about a serious crime that's caught on camera. You can't ignore that, but abuse of power, really? Obstruction of Congress? How are you going to charge the president with obstruction of Congress? That doesn't make any sense. The president is the chief. He's the main, the head honcho. How are you going to charge him with obstruction of Congress? It doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, West Virginia, they voted for Trump by an overwhelming amount. Therefore, Joe Manchin is pretty much in the bad situation right now. And I don't understand. Well, you know what? I do understand why he did it, because at the end of the day, you are a Democrat and you want to get certain things done in your party. You want to kind of straddle the fence in between doing what's best for your constituents, which should be your only goal, but I'll move on. You want to straddle that line between doing what's best for your constituents and also being able to get along in the Democratic Party in D.C. And you know that if you vote to acquit the president as a Democrat, it'll be very hard for you in D.C. to get anything done. But what you should do, Joe Manchin, is switch to Republican. How about that? Just do that and have that be that. You know, don't do this whole thing of, oh, well, I'm going to vote to convict while I'm still a Democrat and still be like, oh, well, I'm trying to, nah, one side or the other. That's all you got to do. So it is what it is. Now, speaking about Nancy Pelosi, that whole thing with the tearing up the speech, like I said, that'll probably be one of her last acts as a Speaker of the House. She's toast. She's done. You know, totally finished. You know, and people were saying, what was she going through by looking at the papers the whole time? Because during the State of the Union address, she's like going through her papers feverishly. It's like, are you trying to do your taxes? You got your bingo cards you're going through. You're looking for jobs after you get fired. You're looking for retirement homes. What's really going on? I don't know. But at the end of the day, Nancy Pelosi is a mess and did not get anything accomplished at all in her term as Speaker of the House. I'm talking about nothing. This whole Russia thing didn't go anywhere. The impeachment didn't go anywhere. What are they going to think of next? What's going to be the next ball to drop as far as the Democrats trying to attack Trump? I can't call it, really. But what I say is, if they're going to try to attack Trump, how about they get all their ducks in a row? How about they get organized a little bit first? How about they just figure out how they're going to run their own party? The whole thing with the Iowa caucus is totally embarrassing. We're talking about 48 hours later and still no results. The results for the Republican Party in Iowa were ready within an hour. The polls closed, and then like an hour, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours later, everything was all in with like 98% reporting. But we're still at like 75 or so percent reporting 48 hours later. It's a mess. Talking about, oh, let's use an app. Let's make an app. And then the whole thing with the app is blatantly corrupt. I mean, this is just crazy. You have the company, I guess you would call it a shell company, some quote unquote investor company called, I forget what that's called, Advantage, Asterisk, I don't know, AARP, I don't know what it was called. But you had some shell company that you had people from Barack Obama's camp on and Hillary Clinton's camp on, and then they come up with a company called Shadow. And then the shell company talking about, oh, we didn't do anything with Shadow or that app. That's not us. But the shell company started the company called Shadow. And one of the guys from the shell company went over to Shadow to run that. It's like, man, come on. This is blatantly corrupt. Pete Buttigieg donated 2 donations of like, what, 21,000 each last year to Shadow. So you got all kind of hands in this thing. And my thing is this. Here's a question I got to ask for you guys. This is a legitimate question. Did you think that Pete Buttigieg would win in Iowa? Did you think that? Now, I thought he might do well, but I didn't think he would win. Acronym. Thank you, Paul. The company, the show company is called Acronym. The acronym comes up with the company called Shadow that produces the app that bungled the Iowa elections. From all reports we're seeing, it's the fault of the app. People in certain districts were tallying their votes and uploading them using this particular app developed by Shadow, which is the child company of the parent company, Acronym. Okay. Did you guys think that Buttigieg would win that? Did you really think that? I didn't think so. And like I was saying, he donated twice to the child company last year from his campaign, 21,000 each. So let's just put a couple of puzzle pieces together. You have quote unquote abnormalities. They gotta, stop releasing the results for quality control. It's not working. All this, that, and the third. And miraculously, they gotta actually donate it to the company that made the app wins, who was not projected to win from what I've been able to see. Nobody said that he was going to win. They were talking about third or fourth where Joe Biden is, but now you won. Come on. Blatant open corruption. I mean, and if it's not, I can't tell. It sure looks like it. The optics are terrible. I mean, really, really bad. Because remember, last year, there was allegations of cheating during the primary as it relates to Bernie Sanders being screwed out of the nomination. 6 coin flips in a row going off for Hillary Clinton. Okay, just impossible things happening. It's like me hitting 8 straight holes in ones on the golf course when it's raining and it's dark and I'm golfing for the first time. You understand what I'm saying? Just impossible things just happen. Is it a coincidence? I think not. But hey, we're going to see what happens in New Hampshire. They pretty much have left Iowa. They're gone. They're in New Hampshire now. How are they going to redeem themselves? And hopefully they have all the results of Iowa by the time New Hampshire comes, because if they don't, that'd be embarrassing. They can't compare it to anything. They'll be using incomplete results. And also, hopefully, they don't screw up New Hampshire as well. It'd be crazy. You have the GOP just chugging along. Everything's fine. They go from caucus to caucus to primary to primary. Everything's all good. Everything's on the up and up. And wait until Super Tuesday. Iowa, Democrats, you had one job to get one state correct, to get all the votes tabulated, and you can't do that. Now, what about Super Tuesday when you got multiple states, multiple districts, multiple regions, multiple different, how are you really going to get that going? It's going to be crazy, but I can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun. 1,000%. And thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button, share the video as well. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. That'll help me out a whole lot. I thank y'all 1,000%. But yeah, Buttigieg has no chance of being able to win. And I think the whole thing with Iowa, where it has him leading, is fishy. 100% fishy. The woman said, hey, I want my vote back. Can I get that back? Come on. It's not going to... When the smoke clears, I think we'll see some corruption just out in the open, the same way it was in 2016. Exactly, Elijah Jean. Can't tabulate one vote. How can you run the country? Exactly. How are you going to run the whole country? And then they don't only want to run the country, they want to expand the role of the government from the federal point of view. But you can't even count votes in Iowa. You got 100,000 votes. You can't count them. Not 100,000 in Des Moines by itself, but 100,000 all over the state in different districts. It's like 1,700 districts with 100,000 votes. So you can count that if you just disperse it like the way it's supposed to be. You may have had 100 votes in some places. How hard is that to count? I can count that right now on the podcast and do the podcast simultaneously. Why is it taking 48 hours for them to do it? And these people are getting paid, or they're given some kind of something to do this. You got a whole venue, you got technology, and you're not able to do it. You got a staff of volunteers. How many Democrats does it take to screw in a light bulb in Iowa? That's what I want to know. And then you had the left talking about it. Chris Matthews said, hey, well, the last Democrat in Iowa, turn off the lights, please. Embarrassing. Van Jones saying, hey, this don't look good. This is a sham. Now they're trying to say the caucuses are racist because of how bad it was. I've never heard that before. This is crazy. But what else are you going to do? I mean, you're over here trying to attack the president, trying to impeach him. That didn't work. He's acquitted. He can go out there and dance, pour champagne all over himself and celebrate like he won Super Bowl, right? He can do that, and you can't do anything about it because you were not able to get him out of office. Okay, that's that. Then here comes the caucus. Oh, we're going to have a great showing. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have our results first. We got a new app. We put money into it, and then here it is 48 hours later and still no results. How can you really try to defend that or combat that or shield yourself against criticism. You can't do much. So all you can do is throw out the R word, throw out the R card. Oh, it's racist. Too many white people. What are you going to do when you go to South Carolina, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, Texas, and other places where Pete Buttigieg posed at zero, where he comes in last place, and you interview people and they say, well, he's gay and he's married and I don't like that, and they're not white, straight white men and women, black folks saying it loud with Barack Obama t-shirts on. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to be able to square it? You gonna call black folks homophobic? You gonna call them that? Is that what you're gonna do? That's bad. You're gonna attack black people. Now you're gonna be accused of being racist. So the racist card is not gonna work. All their cards they have in the deck are gonna pretty much be set on fire throughout this whole season. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. Will Redding, thank you for your donation, says, I don't blame the coin tosser. The double-sided coin must have confused him. Exactly. Heads, I win. Tails, you lose. You understand what I'm saying? That's pretty much how it goes. But yeah, I'm really ready for this whole thing to get cracking. And like I said, the State of the Union address was fantastic. No mention of the impeachment at all. It's all about the people of the United States. And it was really good. He hit on a lot of great points, talking about the economy, talking about infrastructure, healthcare, the military. One thing he said really stood out when he was like, we don't want to be the police of the world, basically. We're not trying to be the world's law enforcement agency. We want to end some of these endless wars overseas. Now, I'm seeing some folks be clamoring about Tulsi Gabbard, who, by the way, got 0% of the vote in Iowa, but it's a different story, and I digress. The point is that people are clamoring about Tulsi Gabbard, talking about, oh, she's anti-war. This is a new thing. Here you have Trump saying the same thing. Trump is more anti-war than Tulsi Gabbard is, because remember the whole thing with Syria. He took troops out of Syria, and she was mad about that, talking about, oh, the blood of my Kurds is on your hands, all this, that, and the third. So who is anti-war and who's not? But I'll move on. Anyway, he had a very big anti-war statement at the State of the Union address, and it was really crazy that although his speech was, in my humble opinion, nonpartisan, he did not get a lot of support from the Democrats in the audience, and their outfits were hilarious. They're talking about, oh, it's like women's suffrage because all the women had on white, but they're not really understanding their history as a Democratic Party, because 1924 you had the Klan bait, the Democratic National Convention, where the Klan came to the DNC with their robes and their flags and all that good stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So it appeared to me to be a repeat of the Klan bake almost 100 years later. What, 96 years later? Almost at the anniversary of it. So if they do it in 2024, I'll think the same thing. But I digress. The point is that they're not really understanding about their history. If they did understand, or if they cared, maybe they would not try to do this whole white, robe get up almost. You understand what I'm saying? To me, it's just kind of off-putting. And quite frankly, I am triggered. I'm really shaken. I can't stop shaking. I can't stop crying. I need a therapist and all that, because I'm getting flashbacks of the Klan in 1924, but I'll move on. The address was fantastic. The Democrats did not clap at important times, because you had them talking about education, or Trump was talking about education, not them. Trump speaking about education. He's speaking about opportunity zones, paid time off for families. A lot of these things are liberal dreams, and the liberals sat down for it. You had the lady with her daughter that was born at 21 weeks and survived. Beautiful little girl, looks very healthy, not in any kind of way, disabled from what I've been able to tell. Nice, healthy, beautiful young little girl in the actual place, and they didn't really react to that. It wasn't really like, no big deal. You're talking about ending late-term abortions. They sat down for that. But you have an example of a little girl at 5 months old that survived and is thriving. So you want to have abortion at 8 months? Obviously, if you're born even at 5 months, you can live. What do they want to say? Oh, the fetus is not viable. All this, that, and the third, which is hogwash, because, it's just, you got to be able to grow. You got to have a chance to be able to grow and live independently. even a baby that's born cannot live independently. Like a baby that's 9 months full gestation when born cannot live independently. If you just have a baby and put it on the ground and don't pay any attention, just let the child stay there, it's not going to be able to eat. It's not going to be able to do too much of anything. It's going to require the mother to be there to care for it until the baby can start to grow and walk and talk and do all that kind of stuff. Even when a child gets to be school age, they still need supervision. They can't just be by themselves. You know, they still need care. So this whole thing about, oh, it can't take care of itself is hogwash, but I'll move on. Yes, Sushi, 8-month abortion, because remember, in Virginia, they were talking about they're going to have abortion up until birth. Northam was talking about, oh, well, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about a non-viable fetus. It's BS. Because in the bill that they were trying to pass, the lady was saying, well, the abortion could be had up until the point of birth for mental anguish of the mother and physical problems with the child. So we ain't talking about a non-viable, quote unquote, fetus. We're talking about the mom just having some problems. Oh, I don't want to have a baby. Here you are 8.5 months having an abortion. That's called infanticide, but they wanted to push that. Luckily, it didn't pass, but it got tabled so they could bring it back up. Yeah, exactly, Steven. They were digging their own grave by not clapping. Exactly, 1,000%. I was watching some of the responses on C-SPAN, like I was talking about earlier, and you had Democrats from all over the country, the West Coast, the North, the Midwest, the South. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm 80 years old. I'm not voting Democrat anymore. Do they understand that they're losing people? And also in Iowa, they had a very low voter turnout, extremely low voter turnout, because people are not enthused with the current set of candidates that are out there on the stage. They don't like it. They don't like what they see. They don't like the divisiveness. They don't like how far left they have gone. Regular liberals that are just common everyday folks just ain't with all this craziness. They're not with it. Not at all. And shout out to my man, Rush. Oh, hold on. Rapper 10,000 says, did I see those Democrat congresswomen were being disrespectful when Charles McGee was being honored? Now, was that when they were talking to each other, when Charles McGee was being honored? That's ridiculous. But that's what they do. They don't care. And people see that, which is why they're starting to lose favor. But shout out to Rush Limbaugh getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor for a civilian. He really deserved that. He really earned it. I've been watching Rush for a long time, listening to him for a long time. And he's one of the guys that kind of had me on my red pill moment, because the things that the left are saying right now about Rush, even though he has stage 4 cancer that could be terminal, he could pass away any day. You understand? Even though he's gravely ill, could pass at any moment, they're talking about, oh, he's a violent racist and he, burn in hell. It's like, really? It's crazy. But they're saying that he's racist and all it does is spew hatred. When he won the Medal of Freedom, his Wikipedia page was updated and it said he got the Medal of Freedom for spewing hate on the radio. It's like, really? I've not heard anything racist from the man. And I was told as a child, as a youngin', that Rush Limbaugh's racist, don't listen to him. He's just, racist, Republican, all that and the third. And I just believe what I was told, but never did I take the moment to listen to the man for myself. But when I got to be older and I was starting to question everything around me, I said, you know what? I'm going to take a listen to Rush Limbaugh, see what he says. I looked him up and I listened and I'm like, okay, what he's saying here makes perfect sense. I don't see the lie. Point to the lie. I don't see it anywhere. I'm trying to find it, but I don't see it. You understand? So Rush Limbaugh, listening to him really helped me just to kind of open my mind, open my eyes, that I had been lied to by people all my life, that he was a racist, that Republicans are racist. It just did not make sense. And as I started to listen more and more to guys like him, and I started to branch out, Larry Elder came into the picture, which is why when I met Larry Elder in Charlotte at the Blexit rally, I didn't know what to say. I was tongue-tied because this is a man that I look up to as like a superhero, you understand? So when I'm hearing these men talk about things, it just makes sense to me that I had been told were racist and sexist and all this, that, and the third. Everything that I've been told is now up for question. I've officially been red pilled. So he's done a lot for people just like myself. He saved AM radio back in the 80s, like 1988, he saved AM radio. Rush Limbaugh also provided houses for the families of, I think, either wounded or killed combat veterans. If I'm wrong about the specifics, please let me know in the comments. But he's a charitable man, a good man, a guy that has been really fighting for us on the right for years. I'm talking like 30, 40 years or more fighting for us. So to get that Medal of Freedom was really, really deserving. So shout out to my man Rush. All the haters can be upset, and that's fine, but he earned that 1,000%. How about this? If Ellen can get it, then why not Rush? Nothing against Ellen. Shout out to Ellen, but I'm just saying, I'm just being honest here. That's all. There's nothing else to it. You know, that's all that there is. So yeah, he earned that medal. He deserved that medal. And that's all that there is to it for my man Rush Limbaugh. But the left, of course, they're going to be like, oh, he's racist. The same things I heard back in the day. And I can just take comfort in knowing that it's a kid out there listening to me right now who also hears what the media is saying and is kind of conflicted. Like, hey, are they being truthful over here? Are they being honest with me? Or should I listen to this guy over here that's saying this? And then if they, hear that for a while, they believe it, and then they come over my side, and then they get red pilled, I could take comfort in that. So what Rush has done for me and many others, I think that we can just pay it forward and do it for the next person. So shout out to my man Rush, 100%. All right. But yeah, thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. And if you're just now coming in, yes, Trump did get acquitted, not guilty, beat the case, not going to get removed from office, going to get reelected, landslide victory. And we still don't know who won Iowa yet. If you know who won Iowa with 100% certainty, then let me know in the box. The last I saw, the results were like 75%, and they had Buttigieg in the lead, but it was a slim lead over Comrade Bernie, like a 1% lead. If you have more information, let me know in the box. But yeah, so we don't know what's going on with that, but Trump did get acquitted. He's not going to be thrown out of office. It was funny to see right when he got impeached the first time, the left were like, oh, so is he not going to get thrown out? It's like, no, he's not. It's going to have to be a trial. And now the trial is over, and he did not get thrown out like he thought that he was from the very beginning, although he did not and has not. All right. But yeah, what else we got going on? There's a whole lot happening. Oh, Super Bowl 54. Now, this was a really hot topic at the beginning of the week because of the halftime show. Now, okay, let's talk about it right quick. I think the halftime show was fine. And let me explain before you just pounce on my back. The halftime show was fine because a lot of other halftime shows at the same game have been the same way. And when you think about Shakira and J-Lo, the question is, what are you actually going to expect? Maybe you're not really into music like me, but I know Shakira has been around since like 2000, and her song Hips Don't Lie came out in like 05, and she had been doing that same dance routine that she did at the Super Bowl since then, like the past 15 years from what I've been able to see. So I think the main thing that kind of was a little too much was the stripper pole. Like, you could have left that out. That could have been left out. But aside from that, this is just regular stuff. I mean, you seeing cheerleaders do this. The outfits, it's like majorettes and cheerleaders, and even in high school cheerleaders, you see that. Definitely college and NFL. So I just don't really understand a lot of the backlash. If you have kids watching the halftime show, they probably shouldn't watch it. If you thought that was bad, there have been others that have been bad as well. Adam Levine with his shirt off, Beyonce talking about bootylicious. You understand? So maybe the halftime show might be a little much. Music concerts are like this, especially nowadays. I've seen worse music concerts like that are on YouTube right now that come on TV. I've seen music concerts where, I'm not lying, you have the singer, it could be a famous woman or whatever, the singer will pull a man or woman on stage and give him a lap dance. I've seen that at concerts. And that's just like regular. That's too much to me. So the halftime show, I feel like, was right in line with other halftime shows and was not as bad as predicted. But I do understand why some parents will not let their kids watch it. But if that's the case, then it's a lot of other halftime shows that you probably shouldn't let your kids watch. Or if we're gonna not have the incident that happened at the previous Super Bowl to happen again, then it's got to be Bruno Mars every time. No background singers. No background dancers that are scantily clad. None of that going on. And maybe have, like, who else? Maroon 5. And they can't get shirtless or nothing like that with their jank oiled up. They can't do any of that. They got to just be like, super, super pure. But that's not how these had been for the past few years. So I was ready for stuff like that. I was prepared. Maybe some were not prepared for it. Maybe they don't watch the game. Maybe they're just not really ready. But that's just my opinion. But I thought it wasn't that bad. And I stand by that 100%. I stand by that. But, I think that video didn't actually get a lot of disagreement. People were like, disagree respectfully, or I agree. But one thing it was kind of polarizing. But I think that news right there just took a back seat when this whole thing with the State of the Union came about, and also the impeachment acquittal. Yeah, there were kids on stage. That's right. There were kids on stage, but not when the stripper pole act was going on. You understand? That whole thing was done with at that particular point in time. So I understand. Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Somebody said what I wanted to say right there. BDB says it's been raunchy for like 3 decades since Slick Willie was in office. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like I've seen this before a lot. This is not a thing that is new to me. I feel like I've seen the same halftime show over and over again. You might see a halftime show like this in a regular season game. Or they might show a music video put on by Jay-Z at a regular season football game. And you may have some girls dancing around similar to that. But that's just, what I've seen. Yep. But it is what it. Oh, yeah. And I didn't see, for some reason, I did not see the kids in cages part. But I saw it later after I started to just do some research into it. I did not see that part. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I stepped out for a minute. I don't know what was going on, but I did not see that part. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know what was going on. And one thing about it, the show was kind of long. So at a certain point, I'm in my phone looking at Twitter. I kind of had tuned out after a little bit. And I was kind of just peeking in here and there. That's pretty much what that is. Yeah, turn the TV off. Or matter of fact, tea time, what people could do is watch other channels, because you have other channels that have their own little halftime shows. The Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet. I'm being serious. Like, there's other things to watch during the halftime show. Or just have family time, bake some cookies or something like that. Get something to eat. Take a load off and just chill, and then come back to the game. But really, what I was looking for more than anything was the commercials. It was some great commercials. Shout out to Trump for his commercial. That was a good commercial. Shout out to the little boy. I think it's like 10 years old, something like that. He's a young boy, and they had him running through all the different scenes. I like when they showed Pat Tillman, and he just stood there in respect and looked at him. That was a great commercial. So that was a good one. There were a few good ones at the Super Bowl. There was some SJW. There was some woke stuff going on too. I think Ellen had some woke stuff in her commercial. But overall, there were some good commercials and some weird ones and some bad ones. But I think the commercials were decent this time. And the funniest commercial to me was one that did not make the Super Bowl, which was from PETA, where they had all the animals kneeling for quote-unquote speciesism, whatever that means. I don't know how they got a snake to kneel, but they did. And that was hilarious to see. 100%. The Hyundai commercial, I forgot about that one. Yeah, the Puppy Bowl. Yeah, watch Puppy Bowl and just, have a good time with your family. If you got little kids, watch that and then get back to the game. Oh, and also the issue with Puerto Rico, that was hilarious. People were saying, oh, it's Puerto Rico, not America. It's like, come on. First of all, you're in Miami. I've been to Miami before, and as soon as you land down, it's you basically are in the Caribbean. Like, you might as well be in Cuba, basically. Everything's in Spanish. Everybody speaks Spanish. Everybody's Cuban or Haitian or Dominican or Jamaican or St. Lucian or Trinidadian or Grenadian or some other kind of Caribbean island descent. but mostly Cuban. So if you're in Miami, it makes sense to have that type of act be there. You know, Puerto Rico was right there. Matter of fact, when I went to Miami, it was guys on the plane that were going to Puerto Rico. You understand? So it's like right there. So it kind of made sense. And like I said, the Puerto Rican flag, that's part of the United States. Now, they did not have the Colombian flag, which is where Shakira is from. Then they tried to put race in there. I'm like, race? Really? I see Shakira, especially as a white woman. I don't care if she speaks Spanish. I don't care if she's from Colombia. I don't care if she has an Arab background. So what? Jamal Khashoggi looked white to me as well, but I digress. The point is that I don't see how you can link racism in it as far as, oh, I didn't like it because they're Mexican, which they're not, Hispanic. She's white to me. So I just don't really, it was really weird, the reactions that were coming from mostly the lamestream media and some of these blue check mafia liberals on Twitter. But yeah, overall, it was a good game. Shout out to the Chiefs for winning. They pulled it out. I thought they were dead in the water come the fourth quarter, but they mounted a great comeback and spanked them hind parts of the San Francisco Chiefs. And speaking about the San Fran 49ers, pardon me, and speaking about Kansas City, the whole thing with Trump talking about Kansas rather than Missouri was wearing me out. Oh my goodness, because I'm a geography buff. Give me a globe right now that's blank. I can name about 90% of the countries, at least, bare minimum. State capitals, nation capitals. I'm the kind of guy that will be on my phone at night taking quizzes, knowing where the countries are and where the capitals are. That's me. So I knew immediately that people didn't know where Kansas City was. It's literally right there on the border of Missouri and Kansas. It is a two-state city. It's simple. Same interstate system goes around just Kansas and KCK and KCMO, as they call it. Same interstate system. They have a lot of the same facilities. It just so happens that the stadium is in Missouri on that side of the city rather than in Kansas, but it's literally right there. It's like the Carolina Panthers. Charlotte is where they play, but it's not the Charlotte Panthers or the North Carolina Panthers. It's the Carolina Panthers because it represents both states. Because South Carolina is right there on the border. You could be coming from Clemson or whatever and go straight there to Charlotte, enjoy the game. You could be in Charlotte. You can come from Raleigh, Durham, Greenville, Winston-Salem, come straight there to Charlotte, maybe even far out west like Murphy. Come right there and enjoy the game. Cherokee in the mountains, come right there and enjoy the game. Same thing with the New York Giants and New Jersey Nets. The New York Giants and the New Jersey Jets. They play in New Jersey. Now, they say New York, but they're in Jersey. So because they're in Jersey, should I celebrate Jersey because they won? It's dumb. It's the whole thing is just silly at the end of the day. A geography quiz on stream. Oh, I do it. Don't tempt me to do it. I might do it at the end of this stream. I could pull it up right now and then I fill in all the countries. And I probably would get like 95%. I could do that right now. Matter of fact, if anybody wants to challenge me, that's a leftist out there talking about, oh, he didn't know where Kansas City was. I love to get you on a geography quiz right now. Right now. So the New York Jets and the New York Giants. There was also the New Jersey Nets, the basketball team. But now they're in Brooklyn at the Barclays where Jay-Z had put some money into it. Right. Yeah, Kansas City is right there on the line of Kansas and Missouri. It's a dual state city. So that whole thing was crazy. And I feel like they kind of center on that because they knew that they didn't have anything else. They knew that impeachment was coming to an end. They were going to lose that. They knew it was going to be a great State of the Union address. They couldn't really fight against that. So what can we get them on? Not impeachment, not State of the Union, not the economy, not jobs, not education, not energy, not military. Kansas City, how about that? Roll with that. That's pretty much how it goes. why are you calling him Stephen Bonnell? His name is Destiny. Like, everybody know him as Destiny. Are you trying to trick me, sir? Whereas Nevis, you mean St. Kitts and Nevis, the islands in the Caribbean? I like, trust me, like I'm being serious. Like I'm a geography buff. Shout out to Bob Marley. Yeah, R.I.P. Kirk Douglas. To be honest with you, I thought he was done a long time ago because he's 104 years old. Rest in peace to my man, but I thought he had been passed away for a long time. He had a very long life, 104 years. So shout out to him for living that long. I mean, you had a life, man. But R.I.P. to you. 100%. Oh, pop quiz. Anybody trying to, if you try to do a pop quiz right now on the stream, I mean, I'm telling you, like, I know countries like Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan and Turkmenistan and Kiribati, East Timor. Like, I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy maps. I enjoy all that stuff. So when I saw that happening on Twitter, I was really getting triggered. Sealand, ain't no Sealand. Is that a sovereign country? What is that? Sealand. That ain't no. That's not a sovereign country. Is it a state of a place? Is it a city? What is that? Yeah, exactly, Cameron. Bristol, Tennessee, and Bristol, Virginia. I drove through there, and it's a seamless transition. It's the state line going through it. Oddly enough, as I said before, Bristol, Virginia went bankrupt because of the policies coming from Northern Virginia. The taxes and all that kind of stuff made it go bankrupt, but Bristol, Tennessee was just fine. Now, how does the same city have one part of it go bankrupt? It's because of the policies from the state that they're in. This is why voting is very important, but I'll move on. You been to East Timor? Okay, shout out to East Timor. Uzbekistan, Falkland Islands. That's off of the coast of South America, right? The Falklands. That's like by Chile, Argentina. I could be wrong. You might have got me on that one. Luxembourg, Liechtenstein. Yes, Liechtenstein. That's like a very small country in Europe. It's like, where is that? That's like by that might be like in the Andes, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very small country. Luxembourg is as well. All right. Yeah, shout out to your parents, Technologic. Shout out to them. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. And thank y'all for watching. I most certainly appreciate you. 57 states. That's hilarious, Will Redding. Hilarious. Moscow City. Let me see. But yeah. So the whole thing with the impeachment, that's over with. We have the State of the Union address in the books, and it was a great one. And there was something else on my mind I want to talk about. Let me see if I can find it right quick. And thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We got calls coming in about 10 minutes, and then we'll get to those. Oh, the lady talking about, I said that already, talking about that she didn't know Buttigieg was gay. She wanted to vote back. Timor-Leste, also known as East Timor, that is a very small island that is connected to Indonesia. It's like you have Indonesia at the very top of Indonesia. It's like a little tip right there. That's Timor-Leste. Also very close to Brunei, or the Sultanate of Brunei. Shout out to South Africa. Big up to them. Obama for Indonesia. That's where he lived at for a long time. Yes. Oh, yeah, the sanctuaries. That was hilarious. Trump had a slip of the tongue, and he said sanctuary rather than sanctuary, but it's a fitting name. I mean, look at San Francisco, sanctuary city, but you got doo-doo everywhere, needles on the ground, so it's fitting to call it a sanctuary city rather than a sanctuary city, 100%. Alrighty. Let me see. Thank you, Sammy C. I appreciate you coming from Canada, watching from the start. I appreciate you. Andorra is where is Andorra? Andorra is like, I want to say Spain. I know Catalan is in Spain, or like at the very top. Catalan wants to be his own independent sovereign country. I think Andorra is right there, like in between Spain and in between Spain and France, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not Googling. I'm just kind of guessing. I know it's in Europe, and it's a small country. And it's pronounced Andorra, like not Andorra, if I'm not mistaken. Stankonia, exactly. Galapagos Islands. Timor-Leste is in like very, very far. I guess you could call Timor-Leste Southeast Asia, but that's kind of like not really Southeast. That's kind of like Oceania, basically. That's like Malaysia, Indonesia, that area, closer to like Australia, actually. Okay, I got it. Yeah, it's right next to Catalonia. Yeah, and Catalan, they in the Catalan area wants their own little region. I guess Catalonia. And I also know that the country in South Africa, where the country is surrounded by South Africa, used to be called Swaziland. It's now called Eswatini. And they have a king and everything. And the king is a nut, has like 15 wives. And every wife has a road to their house. Meanwhile, the people are starving in this country, butt naked and everything. But I'll move on. The capital of Vatican City. The Vatican, is there a capital? The Vatican City is a sovereign place in Italy, or surrounded by Italy. Is there a capital? I guess, the Holy See. Gotcha. The Holy See. I think I'm right about that too. Yaoundé is Africa, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yaoundé, that's a capital in Africa. I want to say Yaoundé is the capital of Senegal. I could be wrong. Capital of Kyrgyzstan. I don't know capital of Kyrgyzstan. I think I saw that too. I think I studied that one, but I forgot. Yeah, I don't know that one. You got me on that one. Let me see. Piece of Machine says, hey, ABL, I saw Watchmen on HBO. It was woke trash. Have you seen it? I've not seen that on HBO, but I heard it was trash. I heard it was a lot of trash. Yeah, Eswatini recognizes Taiwan. Yeah, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. All right. Dakar, Sagana. Yeah, Dakar, I forgot. Yeah, Dakar, Senegal. Cameroon's Cameroon's Yaoundé. I was close enough. Cameroon is almost West Africa. It's like right next to Nigeria. So it's close enough. I remember that one too because I think a basketball player is from Yaoundé. Maybe Joel Embiid or somebody's from that particular area. Tuvalu, Comoros, Mauritius. Yeah, those are islands. Comoros is off of the coast of Africa. Mauritius that's Africa too, off the coast. Or I know you got Mali, Mauritania, and Mauritius. That's off the coast of Africa. And Tuvalu is in Oceania. All right. I'm telling you, the geography, I enjoy that. I might do like a the capital of Trumpistan. The capital of Trumpistan is Washington, D.C. The swamp. We're going to drain it. All right, let's get to the super chats right quick, and then I'm going to get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Matter of fact, let me just get a minute to get my slide down here fixed. I took the phone call number off last night because I ain't want nobody to be trying to call during the stream. I'm going to put it back up right now. But thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. I most certainly appreciate you for helping me out that way. All right, let's see. Madagascar, I knew that one too, but I forgot that one. I think Madagascar was like, Madagascar was colonized by the Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken, or some other country. I forgot. Okay, coast of Africa. Got it. Let me see. But you guys are great. You know, I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all for being here. Vorseria? Ain't no Vorseria. Is Vorseria a capital? What is that? It's not a sovereign state. So I don't know what that is. That's a hard one. Botswana. Yeah, I've heard about Botswana. That's like right above South Africa. I heard it's doing very well for itself. And it's also close to Zimbabwe, which is not doing very well because they want to have basically communism. So, I mean, but that's what happens when you know, when you rely upon things that you should not rely upon. You understand what I'm saying? So when you kick out the white farmers that's actually producing the food, when you're not planning your country properly, I mean, things like that happen, and it's really a shame. You know, Svalbard, northernmost city settlement. What's that like? Sweden, somewhere in the Arctic Circle. The Animaniacs, no, the Animaniacs thing is very outdated. They don't have South Sudan, or I think they still got Yugoslavia. That's like super old. That's like the 90s. Countries have changed since then. Russia's taken over Crimea. Like the maps are super old. A lot of things have happened. Countries have changed and shifted since the 90s. People don't really know about it. Like Macedonia is called North Macedonia now. First it was FYROM, then it became North Macedonia. Yeah, Zimbabwe is a hot mess, a hot, terrible mess. And it's really a shame because you got people there that are just regular, everyday folks just trying to, get things going. And they can't because of their government is just putting them in a very bad situation. The number of countries worldwide depends upon which countries are recognized as being sovereign. I think it's 193, but I mean, Palestine is going to be a hot button issue, as is Taiwan, as is Kosovo. So it's hard. Then you have like some movements that are happening, Catalonia. It's hard to tell. So I think like 193. That's my count, but I don't know. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get to the calls here. I'm gonna try to get my Skype up, see if it wants to work out well for me. Monaco is in the south of France. That's an easy one. That's like a tourist attraction. Yeah, Czech Republic is now called Czechia. See, things change a lot. All right. And Slovakia, I think, is just a Slovak Republic or just Slovakia. Things. Everybody got their own official name. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Okay, Slovakia is a Slovak Republic, but AKA Slovakia. And then you have countries that have different names depending on the language you see it in. Like China is Guangdong, Zhuangdong, and Japan is Nippon. And what else? Iran, I think, is Persia. There's a lot of countries that have different names depending upon what language you're speaking. Germany is Almania in French. All right, hold on. Let me make sure my stuff is straight over here. And let's get into it. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Don't be afraid to call. $193, been at 53. You tired now? Hey, you a globetrotter. I see. Capital of Wakanda. That's hilarious. Shout out to Wakanda. Croatia is still around. Yes. Isle of Man is in between. Isle of Man is up there like UK, in between UK and Ireland. Republic of Ireland, not Northern Ireland, which is part of UK. Azerbaijan is to the north of Iran. All right, call you on the line, 563. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, it's Dave Murphy calling from Busan, South Korea now.
All righty. What's going on, man? How's everything?
Not much. Not too bad. I love living over here for work, but the great thing is because of internet technology, I get to keep my Iowan phone number. I'm really calling to talk on two specific subjects because I think you've pretty much covered everything very well. I don't really care for the Super Bowl. I just thought it was interesting that the 49ers got stopped because they got a little too prideful and at the 12 minutes left in the game mark, and then the Chiefs come back in and you're like, nah, we're going to do this over here, and pretty much steamrolled them when nobody suspected it because the 49ers were the shoe-in to win. They had a great year. So did the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did.
And so I think you've pretty much covered everything about that. I saw a few things on Twitter, and I'm like, this just goes to show who the real poor sports are because everything that I've basically said is, you had the 49ers played a great game, the Chiefs played a great game, and you're worried about misrepresentation of a geographical area for Trump's tweets. Get a life. You're the fans that those teams hate to have. Much like if you do something stupid and wear a heavy metal band shirt, the band will say, "We don't like you. You're not our fan." So now what I think the whole thing with Pelosi being, I've never met anybody that has a Pelosi last name that is actually a nice person. It must be genetic, whether it's in real life or in video games or whatever. And I've met a few of them when I lived in Iowa. So it's got to be a genetic disposition of being rather jerkish. She pulled her stunt. I think everybody knew she was going to do something like that. The Democrats behaving the way they're behaving does not surprise me. But my key point here is I was watching this with my coworkers via the internet after it ended, because I'm practically a day and a half ahead here from you guys now. And I had my coworkers just asking me, how does she still have a job? And I said, I really had no answer to that. And they go, if they pulled this kind of stuff within our government, they would have been removed from their position for not respecting the chain of command, and she would have been basically stripped of her title and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much how they would do it in the military too. If you do not, respect the chain of, you don't have to like a person because that's just the way it goes. But when President Trump is doing his thing and pointing things out, whether you want to or not, you applaud out of respect and courtesy for the position of the office. There were a lot of Republicans and conservatives who could not stand Barack Obama, and yet they still stood when they needed to. They applauded. They respected his fact that he won the presidency and he was, the president, and they didn't show him any disrespect. The complete opposite. And what Pelosi probably, and she doesn't care, and that's fine, but what she's forgetting is, and I know President Trump knows this, you know this, I know this, that because of the internet alone, this stuff is seen worldwide, and worldwide, people from other countries, especially leaders of other countries, are keeping their eyes on America right now. And Pelosi basically just embarrassed the bloody, the living hell, excuse my language, out of the Democrat Party. And just, if you think my coworkers in Busan are just stunned, I can, just imagine what everybody else, specifically the Chinese, are watching this thinking, wow, that woman has no respect for the chain of command. She'd never make it here. That's it, And so the second part about the Iowa caucus, I had found out, when I found out that Buttigieg did or did not win, the fact that they still haven't figured this out 2 days later.
Yeah.
I'm getting calls from my mom. I'm getting calls from my relatives in other parts of America. Oh, are you watching this date? And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with these people? Because like you said, the Republicans, everybody knew that the incumbent President Trump was going to be the heavy favorite. People still went to bat for other people. That's fine. But they had that stuff done less than a night. And they didn't do it with, we got this new kind of app that we're going to do this stuff on. They did it the old-fashioned way. They did it with paper that is getting recycled, by the way. This app is garbage because it was developed by a woman whose husband, I believe, either worked for Hillary Clinton or was on her campaign. Well, that doesn't sound suspicious at all, does it? Now, I'm not going conspiracy theory here. I'm just making an observation. And I when I read more into it, I was like, oh, Buttigieg here has a financial stake in this.
Yes.
You see that kind of thing. That doesn't become a conspiracy theory. That basically points out, okay, if this person puts X amount of dollars into this product, they're going to want the product to do what they need to do. The thing didn't even get out of beta testing stage. A lot of people do not realize that the Shadow app, that name alone, it never got out of the beta testing stage. So, oops. I don't care if Buttigieg wins Iowa because of President Trump's State of the Union, Pelosi's disrespect of the office and the chain of command being seen worldwide by other nations that really, like China specifically, keeping their eyes on America, who cares? He's not going to be the president. He will, Buttigieg is not going to be the president mainly for the fact he's immature. He has no seasoning. He can't even, work what is he, from South Bend, Indiana or something like that?
I believe so, yes. That's where he was the mayor.
Yeah, he screwed that up royally. And if you can't, be fiscally responsible as a mayor, you're not going to be trusted by anybody else to saying, well, he screwed up being a mayor. Why don't we let him just screw up being the president? And I'm sorry, people out there, but I do agree with the woman. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter basically shame her for this, which, hey, that's her First Amendment constitutional right to be able to change her mind, get over it. The rest of the world, whether you believe it or not, is not ready for anyone who is openly gay to be a major representative of a major country. And they are not going to change their minds. You can complain and moan and whine all you want, but the truth of the reality is they don't care. They don't have to accept it. And, and other people are like, well, it's the 21st century. I say, yeah, it's the 21st century, all right. And people still have the right to say, of course, you can't get your vote back, I'm sorry to say. But, they still have the right to say, oh, well, something that should have been told to me yesterday. So, tough noogies, man. I mean, I'm sorry. But the Iowa Democratic Party, you're all screwed up. The fact that the Republican side of the party did their stuff the old school way and got it done, sorry, but if you hadn't been Orange Man bad for the last 3.5 years, you'd be more viable of a contester. I'm sorry. So, that's really, I know I'm talking, I'm just like, these people just, I said, I'm kind of glad that I'm a dual citizen now and that I live in Busan and that, I will be able to travel back to Iowa for voting because, basically I'll have my time saved up and I can do that. But, damn, excuse my language, but, gee whiz, man. Oh, and I just saw a comment pop up. Hillary Clinton, of all people, you really need to pipe down, lady, because you're whining about the acquittal of our fairly elected President Trump. Yeah, I don't think Bill got your Szechuan sauce because you're pulling a pickle Rick here. I want my Szechuan sauce. That's what you look like now. You have no viable opinion about this woman. Go away. Just go away already. We don't want you. Nobody needs you. And I can guarantee you, if you were to even think about throwing your hat into the, I'm going to get, throw my hat into the presidential nomination, you get stomped a second time. Now, my final words are, I will say this. I think because of the app, with this suspicious behavior, the fact that it wasn't even out of beta testing for the most part, I'm not a Bernie bro, but I do really think he did get hosed. I don't think the data is viable according to any aggregate. I mean, I watch Sticks, Hex, and Hammer, and I watch a lot of other people, and Sticks does, you and Sticks are really the guys that keep tabs on the stuff, just like focused like a laser. Sticks is more of an independent, but he'll say, I like this, I don't like this, and he, gives the middle ground. You do the same, and you're more of a conservative than he is. But you two dudes are the guys to watch to know about the polling aggregates. And I'm not, pumping you up here for a compliment or anything. It's just, this is what I've noticed. And Sticks has basically pointed out that, this is a joke. This app was what was caused to the disaster in Iowa when the Republicans did it the old-fashioned way. So as an Iowan, I say, hey, if you guys want to mock the Iowan Democratic Party, knock yourselves out. But I will say, if people want to say, well, Iowa's too white. Well, okay, first, white is a racist term.
Well, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off right there. That was a good point, but I got a lot of calls online, so I got to get to a few more.
Yeah. So just let me finish out real quick. The folks that are – think about the folks that do all the marketing or the farming in Iowa. You want more people that are unskilled people doing the jobs of people in Iowa that are Caucasian. A lot of people are going to starve because those are family farms that have run for generations. I'm sorry to go on this long. I'm calling in from South Korea. Thank you for having me on. I will see the rest of you back in chat. Thanks for having me on, ABL.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace out.
All right, shout out to my man Dave for the call. I appreciate him. All righty, Sweet Speaks, what's happening?
Well, you want to know something about immigrating legally to the United States?
What's that?
It takes a long time we finally got our first form approved. So now they're sending our stuff over to the National Visa Center. So it was at USCIS for 17 months.
Wow. Long
yeah.
time.
And now we might have to wait a few more months, but hopefully not another 17.
So are you on the final step now, or will there be more steps after this?
I think this is the big one, but they say there's like 5 steps. But the second one is when they decide if they're going to give me a visa or not. And as far as we can understand, there is nothing that would stop me from getting a visa.
Okay.
So I'm still in Europe. I'm going to see my wife next week because she's flying over to Europe. And you know, I'm not blaming Trump for this. I'm blaming that pretty much the Democrats, I think, because they've been adding a lot of bureaucracy layer after layer, and it seems like the people working at USCIS are slow because they want to keep their jobs. I could be wrong, but to me it's like a classical example of socialism.
I mean, that's what happens when you have government, that the government does not have a real motive to do things quickly or efficiently because they're going to get paid regardless. When you have private business, they have a motivation to actually get things done quickly, to do it better than the other company because there's competition. If they don't do a thing very well, then they're going to get X'd out of whatever particular market they're in by a different company that do things very well. It's very simple. It's just like if Amazon started to, you know, fall by the wayside and they weren't doing things very well, you have Rakuten and Walmart online shopping, other companies that will be able to say, okay, we're going to fill the void now. So it keeps them on their toes. But the government, they pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Because, well, I was listening to the State of the Union yesterday, of course, and I found it funny. I have to say something about the Democrats. I found it funny that, well, Trump didn't even want to look at the Democrats, and I understand him. They were trying to get him out of office without any good reason, except they just don't like that he happened to win, and that he will win again. I mean, I could almost bet money on that one, but I'm not betting, but I could. And Pelosi, that was just childish. But who is going to be surprised about what she does? You know what? You know the thing about the Democrats. Some people in Scandinavia have told me that the Democrats of today are not the same thing as the Democrats of the 1860s. That okay, they were pro-slavery back then, but they changed. I'm like, yeah, they changed which people they want to use as slaves. They brought in slaves from Africa back in the day. Now they're trying to bring people in from Latin America instead, that they want to work more or less for free. I don't see a big difference in behavior here.
It's all the same behavior, just updated as far as their marketing, how it looks to the outside world. Like you said, they changed what they want to be slaves. This is why they don't want to build the wall, which is why they want to have quote unquote sanctuary cities, because they want these people to come in. Barack Obama said it himself. These are your fruit pickers, your bed makers. You know, so it's like, okay, since you coming into the country as an illegal alien, you got to be picking fruit and making beds. That's what they want. They want them to be working in their house as maids and tending to their garden, cutting their grass. They don't want people to come into the country that are going to actually be able to succeed and do very well. They don't want competition. They just want very underpaid labor, the same as they wanted back during slavery. There's not much of a difference, just updated with the times.
Yeah, exactly. Because those evil Republicans freed the slaves, so now they had to bring in other slaves.
Right, they had to replace what the Republicans took away, and they've not gotten over it yet.
And you know, when Trump started talking about record low black unemployment, and the Democrats wouldn't clap for that, and you know the worst part, even the black Democrats won't clap for that, and I'm like, there's a word for people like you. You are a bunch of sellouts.
Oh yeah, because it's like, okay, if you're a black Democrat, chances are you live in a black area and you got black constituents. Maybe, just maybe that's the case. So if your constituents are saying, hey, we don't have jobs, things are bad here, then why would you not clap for lower black unemployment? That's exactly what you were voted into office to achieve. So,
yeah.
But maybe they don't have that actual objective. Maybe their whole thing is to keep black unemployment high, so then they will be needed, because if we have jobs and we're able to make money for ourselves, we're not relying upon the system, then we may vote the other way, and then they don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, Yeah, speaking of that, how large percent of the black vote do you think that Trump is going to get in November? If you would make a guess.
That's a very good question. I think at least 16. That's what I'm going for right now, and that's high because last time it was 8, so that's double.
Right. Yeah, because you know the one thing the left hates more than anything else is people who are self-reliant.
Oh yeah, they don't like that at all. They want people to depend on them because that's their whole thing. They're talking about free this, free that. If people can do for themselves, then they don't need all these free handouts, and they're not going to want to have their hard-earned money taken away from them. They want to keep their own money to do with it what they please.
And actually, I think this is why they don't want voter IDs either, because now they think they can get illegal immigrants to vote for them as long as, well, if you're not checking anyone's IDs, they can say, oh, they voted for us. Oh, they were all citizens, but we didn't check.
Right, exactly. That's the main thing. And then, of course, it's like a secret weapon. They can engage in voter fraud. So if things ain't really going, they can do some quote unquote quality control the same way they did in Iowa, and rig some votes up to make up the difference, maybe.
Yeah. So with all this waiting, I needed to make more money, so I went ahead and found a job, and now I'm like, okay, I'm starting a new job in March, and I don't know how long I'm staying. I'm kind of in a difficult situation here.
Well, hey, I think that you'll be able to make it work, and like I said, you gotta make some money. You could do that for a while, and then if you gotta go, you gotta go. It happens. That's just because if the company were to say, hey, we don't need you anymore, we're gonna downsize or whatever, then they wouldn't even really care. They would just do it. So you got to do what's best for you, whatever that is.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. I thought the speech was great. Oh, there's one more thing. There's another Swede, and he lives in America. He wrote this book. It's called Faith and Freedom. And
okay.
He's making a case about American exceptionalism in the book. And he writes in the book that because he grew up in Sweden, he thinks he can faster spot what's happening in America when they try to transform the culture from being based on liberty and God-given freedoms to being based on social justice and how liberty comes from the government, so you have to be handed stuff for free. And he's like, because I've already seen this happen in my native country, and I don't want my new home country to turn into this, because that's why I left Sweden and went to America.
Right, exactly. So he can see from the outside looking in. He's not necessarily biased one way or the other. He's just able to kind of just observe it, just from his culture, seeing ours. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much all I've got. What was your favorite part about the State of the Union?
My favorite part was all the guests that he brought out, especially Rush when he got the Medal of Freedom. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
That was really great. And then, of course, that's Tuskegee Airmen that came out 100 years old. I really enjoyed that. So all the guests, everything he said in the speech was good, but my favorite part was the guests that he brought out, because that shows the American people, just regular everyday folks that have benefited from the administration and that are doing good things in the country.
Yeah, I find it. I mean, this black girl was getting this scholarship, and they couldn't clap for that either because the Democrats are in the pockets of the teachers' unions. They don't really care about what's best for kids.
That's right. That's right. They don't want that. They don't care. It's a black girl getting a better education. She can break the cycle of poverty and single motherhood. They don't worry about that because they're all about just trying to get money from, like you said, whoever is funding them, teachers, unions, and whatnot. They're concerned about that and not about the actual constituents, which is pretty sad.
Yeah. So I just hope that Trump wins in November, and I hope I'll be there to work for it and to celebrate. I mean, I won't be able to vote, but I can tell people, I think you should vote for that guy. I think he's a good guy. And if you don't want your country to turn into Sweden, I think he's your man.
That's right. Absolutely.
So, okay, that's all I've got for now. So thank you for taking my call.
Hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Tell everybody how to get in contact with you right quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to https://aswedespeaks.com. And what I mostly do now is I do a live stream every Saturday, not at the same time as you do, a little earlier.
Okay, so yeah, you guys check out his website, check out the live stream here on YouTube, and I thank you for joining, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, and have a great evening.
All right, same to you.
Yeah, bye.
All right, thank you to a Sweet Speech for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Don't be afraid to call. 502, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anthony. This is Lewis.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Everything's good, man. I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Turn your speakers down for me.
Hold on, let me turn it down real quick. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
All righty.
Thank you to a Sweet Speech for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. And the number to call is 434-658-1220.
Call, you there?
Yes.
All right. So you should turn it down in the background?
Speaking to Lewis.
Okay. Well, sorry. Look, I'm still hearing it in the background. Like, okay, talk to me on the phone and turn your speakers down in the background so I can talk to you without the feedback.
Okay, are we good?
I still hear it in the background. Like, turn the stream in the background off and talk to me on the phone.
Okay,
right.
Hold on. Yes.
All right. Okay. So what's going on?
Hey, shout out from Louisville, man.
All righty. So what's on your mind?
Oh, just thinking about how Trump won and, you know, how we're winning and doing good in the economy and all that. I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think things are going pretty well. Can't complain at all. No complaints.
You know, I just think the Democrats, you know, they need to learn from this, and they need to realize, you know, Trump's just doing best what he can for the country.
Yeah, but I think they already have an ulterior motive. They want to get him out of office, so they don't really care that things are going well. They're not too concerned about that. They're concerned about just getting him out by any means. And if that means, you know, just sabotaging themselves, not really worrying about their constituents doing better, then that's what it's going to be.
I totally agree with that. I think it's crooked. You know, it's sad to see how the Democrats fell so far. You know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I just wanted to give you a shout out, man. I've been subscribed to you for a while. I think you're doing pretty good, man. You know, I try to give a shout out there by saying, you know, check this man out. He's pretty good. You know.
Well, thank you for your call and your very kind words, man. I definitely appreciate you.
No problem, man. I'll spread the word. You have a good night.
All right, now, same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. Let's get to the next call here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Matter of fact, before I get to the next call, I got super chats to read, and then I'm going to keep on trucking. Thank you to Justin Miller, who says, Justin's random question of the day. Which Democrat policy do you believe would be more destructive for the country? Full gun confiscation that would no doubt result in civil war, or the Green New Deal that would destroy the economy? Wow, that's a good one. That's a very good question. I think it'll be, wow, that's a tough one. They're both like catastrophic. You understand what I'm saying? But definitely gun control or full gun confiscation. That's gonna, I mean, people would die like right away, and that's not what you want. So yeah, definitely full gun confiscation. The Green New Deal would turn us into, like, it'd be looking like Cuba, parts of Russia, you know, just second world, 1.5 world. It wouldn't be good. And it'd be looking like Mad Max. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't want that to happen here in the United States. But I think the gun confiscation would just jeopardize everybody's safety, because the gangbangers, the murderers, the criminals, they won't give up their guns. And people that are going to keep their guns, they may have police come to their door, just, you know, regular civilians that are not criminals. They're not, it's going to be a problem. So definitely full gun confiscation. Very good question. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Miriam Vidal, who says, who ripped it better, Pelosi or Swalwell? I got to go with Swalwell, man, because he tore off a fat one on air. Just, I mean, that's one. You got to check your draws after that one. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Will Redding, who says, I don't blame the coin tosser. A double-sided coin must have confused on me. I've read that one already. Thank you for that. Shout out to Marie Stark for the donation. I definitely appreciate you, who says, keep it up. And shout out to Steven Brits, who says, they were digging their own graves by not clapping. Exactly. Shout out to F Google, too, who says, love you, ABL. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Retta Child. Sorry if I butcher your name, who says, Democrats clapped like crazy when Trump brought out infrastructure, and the lady that did the rebuttal after the speech spoke about that also. I thought that was strange. That was never brought up in the past debates. Big issue now. I'm not really sure. There could be a bill. Pardon me, I got to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, it went away. It could be a bill on the table that they want to sign, and they just trying to garner up support from their constituents for that. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Cocaine Jedi, who says, pretty sure artists have to bid to perform, so it's going to stay on the level of award shows in terms of lowest denominator appeal. Talking about Super Bowl halftime show, well, maybe so. But thank you for your donation. Thank you to Noreen Ryan, who says, you are on fire tonight. Great job. Well, thank you for your very kind words and your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Liza Jean, who says, ABL date wants to call him from overseas. Heart emoji. Well, thank you for your donation. And he was able to call in. He was the very first one. Shout out to Kevin Mendez for your donation and says, thank you with the emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to the Fit Accountant, who says, Nancy rips up speech with Venezuelan president in attendance of the State of the Union. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, my man was right there, Juan Guaido. You just like, who cares about him? Thank you to Lil John, who says, hold on, I lost it. What's up, ABL? Keep up the good work. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Thank you to Jay Renee, who says, Hispanic profile, pro-life, pro-wall, pro-Trump, female here, saying, thank you, ABL. Well, thank you for your donation and for helping the movement keep moving. I appreciate you. Thank you to Will Redding, who says, don't worry, Democrats, your data is safe on a server in Hillary's bathroom. Hilarious. All right, let me get to some more calls. All right, caller, you on the line.
Hello, Anthony Brian Logan. Can you see me, sir?
I see you a little bit. You over there driving at night.
Yes, I am in San Diego, so I'm glad you answered my call. I was calling you, but I guess you were busy reading the super chats. But a few things I want to cover: the failed impeachment and removal of office. Thank God that happened, and the Super Bowl kerfuffle. About the failed impeachment kerfuffle, I'm glad that happened because we knew all along, Trump wasn't going to be removed out of office. It wasn't going to happen because he committed nothing wrong. He didn't do no crime. And then when Mitt Romney was one of the Republicans who voted, it makes me glad that he did not win the election in 2012.
Yeah, absolutely. You made a very good point there. I was thinking the same thing because I was a Mitt Romney guy in 2012. But what if he won? Would we have 8 years of Mitt Romney, or would he do so poorly in office that it would have been a shoe-in for Hillary Clinton because they wanted to go a different direction? Would Trump have decided to run after Mitt Romney? So history could have changed completely if he was able to win the 2012 election. So I'm glad he did not win.
Yeah, me too. Because because at the time we were kind of like hopeless. We were thinking, who can reverse Obama's policies? And Mitt Romney was our only hope. And then when he didn't win, I was like, okay, I went about it my next day. I went to work. I did not say, let's demand a recount. Let's investigate foreign interference from Kenya and all that stuff. I just, us on the right, well, Republicans, we let it happen. We didn't go berserk and ask for a recount like the left did in 2016.
That's right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And the Super Bowl thing, I don't know why everybody. Okay, well, I know why some people are going crazy over the Jennifer Lopez thing, but they were all, like you were saying in your videos, they were just going crazy over some kind of a freeze frame. And when I look at it, I mean, she wasn't like intentionally doing lascivious, lewd acts. It just happened to be, her hand happened to be there. But I now notice, ABL, that it seems like both sides are just looking for excuses to be offended now. Have you noticed that?
Well, you see that sometimes, but when I see the video, it still has mostly positive comments, like 92% like. So people are mostly positive and they understand where I'm coming from. And some people just didn't. But that happens sometimes. But mostly it's not like that. From the left, I see that all the time. That's constantly. If they don't like you and your particular viewpoint, then they'll find anything they can to complain about. I mean, it could be a little kid. It don't matter. Like the whole thing with the State of the Union address when the little girl was getting a scholarship, they didn't even clap for that. It's like, come on, this is a little kid. You should put politics aside and be like, okay, this is good. This little girl's gonna get a scholarship and go to a good school to get an education. I mean, everybody wants little kids to get good education. So I think it's more about just political parties that oppose you trying to find something to be mad about with the other side, and that's mostly on the left.
That's right, because I think they just want to keep pushing that victimhood narrative, so that way they can stay in power. Because that's all they care about, just staying in power, not really going to the communities and ask, hey, so and so, what can I do to improve the community, or what can I do to, win your best interest. They just in it for the power and of course the money. That's it.
Yeah, and once they get in there, they don't have much of a choice about what to do. They're pretty much getting led by the handlers and the quote unquote staff around them, and then of course the machine that is the Democratic Party in the swamp. They get in there just like Barack Obama and everybody else. You get in there, first day, here's a paper on your desk. This is your itinerary. You're going to do X, Y, and Z today, and that's it. You're not going to be trying to make up rules and regulations and whatnot yourself. You're going to do what we tell you to do. That's generally how it goes when you're talking about the government at a high level.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm just enjoying a night drive in downtown San Diego. It seems to be good so far. I mean, yeah, I know I'm in one of the most leftist state in the union, but I'm still enjoying my life here and just not making excuses to be homeless like so many people are. There's still homelessness over here, but it's not as bad as L.A.
Yeah, I heard San Diego was not as bad. Like, it's better down there than it is like San Francisco or L.A. County.
Oh, totally. It's like night and day difference.
Right.
Anyway, ABL, thank you for taking my call. And tomorrow I have a job fair, so wish me well on it.
Hey man, good luck on that, man. I know you got that in the bag. It's no problem.
Oh yes, that's true. Thank you, ABL. Have a good night now.
All right, thank you for the call.
Bye bye.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there is an email for that in the description box below. You could be right here, just like my man was on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And let's continue the calls. 718, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? This is Manny from New York City.
All righty, what's going on?
Good, man. Just been following you for a while. Just want to give you a shout out. Been wanting to call your show for a while, and I appreciate what you do.
And thank you for that, man. I appreciate you calling.
No, pretty much. When it comes to the Democrats, it's just a couple of things. The push Democrats towards the right. I started off life just like you. Grew up in the hood of New York, and as I grew older, a lot of things didn't make sense to me. Like a lot of the stuff that I talked about. And then I got into law enforcement. I became a New York City police officer, and I'm Hispanic, but it doesn't matter. I'm racist. I'm going after people for I've been accused of being racist by other Hispanic people just because of the uniform and then the policies and the stuff. It just doesn't make sense. A lot of the stuff, it just force people to go towards the right. It does, because then you start seeing a lot of the hypocrisy, and they're like, yeah, I'm not about that. And if, God forbid, you was to disagree with them, you're crucified.
That's right. I see that a lot. That's happening so much. I get emails all the time. I get people that send me things in the mail, and they're talking about, I was on the left, and now I'm over here on the right. I've been pushed. It's like, I think it might have been Reagan that said, I did not leave the Democrats, they left me. And I'm pretty much just out here by myself, and I'm seeing over there on the right, they're having a good time. They're doing the right things. It makes sense to me. So now I'm over there in their quest to try and maintain some kind of purity over on the left. They're just shedding people. Maybe they know it, maybe they don't, but regardless of what the situation is, they're shedding people. And I think it'd be pretty evident come November in the general election when they lose really bad.
Right, because just like you, I voted for Obama the first time around because I believed in a lot of the stuff. I guess I was younger back then. I didn't know as much as I know now. Not saying I know a lot, but it's just been the policies that literally pushed me towards the right. Again, financially, I'm conservative. With social issues, I'm like down the middle. But these a lot of these people just keep pushing you more towards the left. It started towards the right. I remember the point where it happened. Long story short, my father came to this country a long time ago, paid his taxes, worked hard. It fell on hard times, especially around the time the economy took a dump, and we were trying to get him some Medicare, and he was denied because he didn't make because he owned two old cars at that. But yeah, I've seen guys that are young, willing, and able, and can work in the supermarket with with the car, no problem. They get all the benefits of the world. But my dad that's worked in this country hard and fell on hard times, he turned it back away because whatever the situation was. That was the last straw for me. That situation right there.
Right. I feel you. And man, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, you see something like that, it's like, man, I think I've had enough. I think I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna do something different.
Right, that's the direction I went, and and it's pretty much, and then also the constant bashing of law enforcement. I can tell you here, and listen. Of course, we all know that there's some bad apples, like any profession. Obviously, when it comes to law enforcement, is highlighted, and rightfully so. If you're a bad apple, I don't want you on this job at all. I'll be the first one to go after you. But this constant bashing, like I'll tell you right now, especially here in New York City, most of us are from the hood. Most of us grew up. Most of us became law enforcement, became cops to protect and serve our communities. But this constant bashing, like the stuff that they say to us, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
No,
like,
I feel you.
It's insane, and it's. I mean, after a while, you just get numb to it. But again, it pushes you more towards the right.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, that's about it, ABL. Listen, just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate the hard work you're doing. Keep going, brother.
Hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good night, brother.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And I understand where he's coming from 100%. People are just getting pushed away. And it's like, I'm over here, I'm thinking everything is all right, but then when I choose a different profession that you don't agree with, now you want to bash me, you want to harass me. Like, you're making me leave. So if you're trying to gain people on the left, if you're trying to be a bigger tent, then it's not really working. You're going to be so small of a tent, you won't have really anybody up under it. And then everybody will be on our side. We'll have the big tent. We'll have this big circus tent. Matter of fact, we'll have this big stadium with a circus in it. Not a literal circus, but like an event. Everybody's having a good time, doing whatever they're doing. You'll be over there in like a little 2-person hut, and you're wondering why you can't get anywhere the way we are over in this big stadium, having a good time, doing whatever we're doing, making the country go forward. That's pretty much how that goes. But let me get to the next call. 304, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
I'm sorry.
304.
I meant to call a radio show. I got the wrong number.
Talk to me right now. You want to call ABL?
Oh my God, dude! Yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
love you. I'm from West Virginia, Parkersburg, West Virginia. I love how you defend our state every chance you get.
Yes, absolutely. That's my original home. That's my birthplace. Rand University, Charleston, West Virginia, Kanawha County. So, I defend West Virginia because I know about West Virginia. People talk about the state that don't know about it, never been there, don't know anybody from there. So, yeah, I definitely take that upon myself to do that on my platform.
I appreciate it, and I love you for that, man. And you're doing a great job. You're spreading the truth, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, thank you for the call, man. I definitely appreciate you.
Love you. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller coming from Parkersburg, West Virginia. I know about Parkersburg. Yeah, I like to, talk about the state and defend the state because people don't know. I've been there a lot, born there, raised in Virginia, but I've been in West Virginia so much. I spend summers up there. I go up there. I've been up there a lot, especially when I was a youngin'. So I know about places that people sometimes don't know. And sometimes when they say things out of ignorance or just, kind of a stereotype. But shout out to the caller, and let me get to the next call here. Let's go 609. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 607. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening, ABL. This is Chuck from Jayville, North Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Everything's going on. Correction. I'm sorry. Everything's going well with me. Hope everything's going well with you. First and foremost, ABL, I greatly apologize. I know you do come live on Wednesday evenings, but I didn't think you was because of the State of the Union last night. But I apologize for coming in for so late in the night. And I do wish to speak about one subject in particular, and that happens to be Mitt Romney.
Yes, Mitt Romney, Mitt the Snake. Not really surprised at what he did, but at the same time, not very happy with it either. I think that he could have saved that because there was no way that he was going to be able to have any success with that vote. So the question is, why would you even do that? And then it was only on one article, not even both articles. So it's like, what are we really doing here, Mitt Romney?
Now, honestly, ABL, this is my personal perspective. Granted, I'm not a big fan of Mitt Romney personally. However, as Republicans, I think we should actually let this go. And this is my understanding and my reasoning behind it, is look at Jeff Andrew of the Democratic side. If I understand correctly, he was more or less told, vote the party line or else. And so he was more or less dealt with a conundrum. I don't believe in this impeachment, but if I don't vote for this impeachment, I'm going to get removed. That's it. If we more or less, I guess you could say, give Mitt Romney the exact same treatment as the Democrats did to Jeff Andrew, we're no better than them. Well, now, I'm not saying, give him a full pass. I'm saying keep him on a short leash, but say, hey, yeah, okay, we understand. We're willing to listen to you. We're willing to compromise, but you do something else again, it's over.
Well, I mean, okay, I think Mitt Romney has proven himself to be a guy that you don't want in the party. And beyond just people on the outside of Utah giving their 2 cents, what about his constituents that voted for Trump in 2016, and then you're going to vote to remove him? Why would they vote for him again? He's toast regardless, whether he gets removed from the party while he's in office or he gets voted out. He's toast.
Well, when it comes to the people of Utah who actually vote for him, that's up to them. But for the rest of the 49 states or the rest of the people that are talking about him, I think we say, hey, it's up to the people of Utah. And we more or less say, hey, we understand your perspective. It's up to the people of Utah. Well, we'll understand what you're saying, but we're going to keep you on a short leash. But if the people of Utah say, hey, you got to go, hey, they speak.
Nah, I don't agree with that because I think this is a pretty serious thing. It's not like one little decision that he made that was not locked up with the Republicans. It's not see, Rand Paul votes certain ways that are not always in lockstep with the Republicans, but yet if he were to have any kind of election or whatever, we support him. We support Rand Paul, although we don't always agree with him. But Mitt Romney, on the other hand, is a kind of guy that has it out for the president. And we're going to have the same president for the next, 4 more years, 5 years total. He'll be in office until January 2025. So why have him around any longer, knowing that he's going to be in the way, an obstructionist, not allowing us to get things done, or at least try not to allow us to get things done, making Trump look bad to the American people, or trying to. There's no point having him in the party anymore if he's going to be like that. It's not just as simple as just agreeing. It's a matter of not wanting the president to be there. That's a pretty big thing. Don't you agree?
Well, if you're saying his re-election is upcoming in 2025, that's 5 years. 5 years from now. So that's more or less like perfect time to give him like a 5-year grace period. If he more or less change his attitude, change his ways in 5 years, all right.
This man,
if he makes a mistake, you're done, bro.
A man that's that old is not going to change. Like, this man got to be in his 60s. So, I mean, you're not going to change. Like, if you're a young person, maybe you're going to change. But if you are not, he's 72. This man will be 73 in March. He's not going to change. He can mess around and die in the next 4 years because he's old. He's 70. Come on. He's not going to change.
My mother is 72 who just got diagnosed and went through colon cancer, surgical procedure of colon cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Die-hard Democrat her entire life. She's voting for Trump. Guaranteed, 2020.
Hey, that's great.
She's 72.
That's excellent. That's fantastic to hear. Now, I heard about stories like that. You know what? I heard about a story like that on C-SPAN. It was an old guy who says, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I'm going to vote for Trump. But Mitt Romney, this guy, he's not going to be any different. He's been the same for a long time politically. And even if he might change, I don't see what the catalyst would be. He's not a fan of Trump. He does not like Trump's policies, and Trump's going to be the guy. So what would make him decide, you know what, I like Trump now all of a sudden?
ABL, I 100% understand your perspective. I'm saying just give the man one chance, one last chance. He's got 5 years. Or think of it this way. He's got 5 years for whoever the primary challenger is going to come up with ammunition, and I guess you could say campaign ads and say, hey, this guy's got to go. Either way you look at it, win-win.
Well, hey, I can't do that, man. If you're going to do it, hey, my hat's off to you. You're better than I am, but I think I make my mind up. Hey, but I respect where you're coming from for sure.
All right. Nevertheless, have yourself a good evening.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, shout out to the caller. And you know what's funny? I gave Mitt the benefit of the doubt when he got elected to replace Orrin Hatch. Oh, he'll do better. He'll change. And we see what happened. Let's get back to the next call. 405, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Naomi. How are you?
Everything's all right. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, I had to call in about the all this impeachment talk that they were doing. You know, it felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I mean, how can they misinterpret the truth so horribly?
Yeah, it was really crazy. But I think they're not really worried about the truth. That's not important. They're more concerned about just trying to push their particular narrative, which is to try and get Trump out of office.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, seriously, I mean, just like Mitt Romney, I know the last guy was kind of doting on Mitt Romney. I came from his religion, and I can tell you what he did was fake. That whole boo-boo crying crap. And I'm sorry. My parents, bless them, they're still part of that religion, but that's like a normal Sunday thing. So, the last guy saying, give him a chance. No, he's a traitor, and he's a traitor because he's involved in all of the bad stuff.
Right.
You can't hide behind a religion.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Absolutely.
But anyway, yeah, I was just sitting there. I was really impressed too. I have to say this. I have to dote on my son really quick. I have a 16-year-old, and of course, in the high school, they're pushing the Democratic views, and he's just so smart. I mean, he could see past all of that. And after the State of the Union address last night, he was watching in his room. I was watching in mine. He came out and was bawling. A 16-year-old strong, boy was bawling his eyes out. He was so moved by President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, that's real emotion right there. And he's able to really feel what the president is saying. I mean, it was some moments there. I kind of almost had a tear in my eye because the main thing was when he brought out some of the people. The moment that really got me was when he brought out Rush, and then he gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, man, because he had the cancer diagnosis, and you could tell that he was not really well. That was just an excellent moment. So, and then also the military family being reunited, that was a great moment as well. Yeah. You see looks on the kids' faces when they saw their dad. They came back from being overseas for a year. So, yeah, I'm right there with him. I feel him.
I told him, too. I said, you need to remember this for always. This will go down in history. This is the best, and because I'm older, even though I have a 16-year-old, I'm older. But this is the best State of the Union I have ever heard in my entire life. And I remember the Reagan years.
Right. Yeah, it was really good.
So it was. But anyway, I wanted to, say thank you for having your channel. I think it's great. I had the chance to share your channel with my sister. So she can't really talk about all this with her kids. So, it was kind of nice knowing that she would listen to this, and she loves you. So keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure, ABL. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you all for the calls. This has been, really, really good call session here. Let me get to the super chats and we get back to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I almost got my own number right there, but let's get to the super chats right quick. Thank you to, hold on. I got a few here I've not read. Let me see. Thank you to Will Redding, who says, "Don't worry, Democrats, your data is safe on a server in Hillary's bathroom." Talking about Iowa, maybe with the whole thing, they can't get the votes. They don't know who won. It's still 48 hours later. They don't know who's the victor. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Michael Patterson for your donation. It says cool with the emoji. I appreciate that. Shout out to Ellie, good gal, who says love your show. Well, thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Thank you to my man Killer Sushi 99, who says, shout out to Nancy the Ripper. Thank you, Nancy, for showing America what a salty, bitter person looks like. Way to show how Trump triggers your hate of America. It's time for us to take back the House. Yes. Hey, I'm telling you, November, we taking the House, keeping the Senate and the presidency. It's going to be a sweep. Nancy Pelosi, you're out of there. My question to you guys would be, who do you want to be the next Speaker of the House come November, January, or whenever it is? Who'll be the next one to fill Nancy Pelosi's shoes? But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Tobin Prowant. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, who says, have you talked about the black community's objections to Buttigieg homosexuality? Yes, I did. And I may do a video about that. I spoke about that earlier in this particular stream, just kind of, casually. But thank you for your donation and your words. I'm going to do a video on that. You're hearing it from me right now. I will do a video on that because the left talking about, Buttigieg, he's going to be the next Obama. It's going to be great. Whoop-de-whoop. You got black women. He has Obama's cadence. No. Being gay is just being gay, and that's it. It's not about being a racial minority, being black, none of that. It ain't the same thing. You can be a gay person and not be black. You can be a black person and not be gay. So it ain't the same thing. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Garden Warrior, who says, love your channel. Sorry I can't do more. Hey, it's all right. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. I most certainly appreciate you. If you're watching the show, you commenting, you sharing, that's what I'm here to do, to spread the word and have everybody support that way, if no other way. Shout out to Stacey Felice, who says, the caller is wrong about Mitt Romney. He is a snake, and he should not be forgiven for this. It's not about vote with your party or else. It's about what is right and truthful. Thank you for your donation and your very truthful words. I most certainly appreciate you for that. You are right on point. But let me get to the next call here, and that's going to be 865 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, my man.
Yes, sir.
This is Aaron up here in Sevierville.
All righty, Aaron. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to say real quick to the young man that called about his mama all a minute ago with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say a word for her. God bless her. Sorry for him. But he's got to forget about Romney. When your grandma starts getting money through the back door from the opposite party, you can tell me about how she's switching parties, because that's what's going on with Romney. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like to me.
Why else would he just trade? Right out of the blue, just start trading.
Right, and then for no reason, really, because, that's not going to do anything for this impeachment situation. Maybe he's just trying to do things to gain favor for the Democrats. I don't see any other reason for him to do this.
It's either he knows he's on his way out of political scene and he needs to get a little bit of money on the side, or he knows he's going to have to switch parties and he's going to get favor with the other side to get another position.
Right. That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. You was talking about the tent a little while ago. I want everybody to know, and any Bernie bros out there that's listening, because I'm going to tie Iowa Caucus Dumpster fire in with this one. Everybody knows they're screwing Bernie over again. It's a big life for us conservatives over here because we seen it coming months and a couple years ago. It's going to happen because he's going to take the payoff and buy another house, another sports car like he did last time. Come on over here because we welcome you. We love you. We want you to vote Trump and make America great again.
That's right. That's right.
Trump's acquitted. I never doubted or boy a second. We know he's the most vetted, the most clean president we've had in how many decades. They ain't got nothing on him. It's Russia, it's Ukraine, it's vote tampering, it's whatever. Whatever they can come up with, they ain't got nothing on him, man.
I mean, like you said, he's the most investigated. He's clean. I mean, they didn't went through all of his life. They're bringing up stuff from, you know, like when he was a little boy, talking about his parents, grandparents.
Yeah. What can they find? Nothing. Nada. Drop it. Let him do his job. That's why we voted him in. That's
right.
why he's there. He's making America great again.
That's right.
The Super Bowl, I don't know nothing about it. I don't care nothing about it. Even though you're saying Shakira's putting on a good job, I might check it out now later now that you mentioned that. I don't know. But the real reason I called ABL, I usually don't call on the Wednesday night. I usually call on Saturday night because I got to get up with the chickens. You mentioned somebody called in or typed in, I'm not sure which one, the crazy New Deal or gun confiscation.
That's right.
Confiscation. Yeah, confiscation. What would cause the biggest ruckus? I'm going to tell you right now, from the heart of East Tennessee, I can guarantee what would cause the biggest ruckus is the confiscation. It would pop off.
Yes. Immediately.
Immediately. It would be no doubt. And I know there's boys up there in the hills of West Virginia. I know the mountains of West Virginia. I've been through there several times. There's some good old boys up there just like down here. Don't be crazy. Don't be messing around. We know how it goes.
That's right. Absolutely. Ain't no question.
We love you, ABL. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to call you back on Saturday because I got to get in the sack.
Well, I thank you for the call, man.
I'm
as
out.
Always. I definitely appreciate you. All right, now. Take care. All right. Shout out to my man from up East Tennessee. Yeah, them good old boys, I'm telling you, they're not playing any games. They hiding, they're not hiding. They're just hanging out up in the holler, not really bothering nobody, just, doing their thing. And then when they come up in the creek, up in the holler in the creek, talking about, hey, let me get that gun. Pfft, man, I shudder to think what's going to happen. Leave them boys alone. Let them be up there with their guns. They're not bothering anybody. You got to go to where the crime is at and get the criminals, not law-abiding citizens. Don't mess with them. Leave them alone. Get to the criminals. How about that? But let's get to the next call. 6.7, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, it's Ivan, man.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, couple of things. I think that what Nancy Pelosi did was wrong, but so you know Nancy, how long Nancy Pelosi been in the Congress?
Forever.
Okay, so are you seen her doing that kind of behavior before?
Well, I've not seen it.
No, never. I never seen. I know she had never done that. I know that's a fact, bro. So she had never done this type of behavior before. Trump came in and she misbehaved. I don't believe that she did the right thing. That was wrong. But when Trump made the video that apparently she was drunk, how many Republicans condemned that video? Do you condemn it?
What video was this?
He made the video. I'm sorry. He retweeted the video. He retweeted a video that went to Fox News. Even the Fox News analysts thought that the video was real. It retorted the video was edited.
So what video was this?
It was a video like she was apparently, she sounded like she was like on medication or she was drunk.
No, the video was not edited. What happened was the video was just very low.
Edited.
Sir, I'm talking, sir. The video was not edited. What happened was the video was just very low quality. So it was different from the original video because it was higher quality. The audio and the visual made it look like she was speaking a little bit differently than what she was, just because of the quality downgrade in the video. See, this is what I do. I'm been for a long time a graphic. Wait, sir, I'm not finished. I'm not finished talking. I need you to be quiet, sir. You're muted right now. I have been in, production, graphic design, video production for a long time, many, many years. And I can tell you that if you have a video that is produced high quality, 1080p, 60 frames a second, 192 KB, audio, and you take that and then you put it on Twitter or something like that, Twitter's going to compress it and make the quality bad. Therefore, it's going to sound a little bit different. Especially back then, the video on Twitter was not even as good as it is today, which is still pretty bad. You're going to have a quality degradation. And Nancy Pelosi does kind of slur. So the quality degradation made the video seem worse than what it actually was. It was not like somebody went in there and changed their voice. But go ahead.
So, but he retweeted the video and he made fun of her, right? Why nobody condemned that video?
Condemn what? It wasn't not edited. So what is there to condemn?
Well, you said it was a slow motion.
No, I didn't.
Like she was. Look, the thing. That's not what the president.
Sir, you're not hearing what I'm saying. The video was not edited. So what is there to condemn?
But it was in a slow motion. It wasn't in slow motion.
No, sir. Listen to what I'm saying.
That's what.
The video,
was not her.
Sir. See, you just ran into a buzzsaw today, and you muted again. The video was not edited. So what is there to condemn?
But it was not her. Wasn't her voice.
It don't matter. It was a regular video. It wasn't edited. So listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If I post a video on Twitter and it's just low quality, and then they come out and say, "Oh, here's a better video of higher quality," should I apologize for posting a video that has not been edited, just happened to be low quality? That's not my fault. The video was low quality. Blame it on Twitter.
Why the president is making fun of the speaker?
I mean, she was starting already. That wasn't edited. So,
but why is he making fun of the speaker? You find that appropriate for a president of the United States to make fun of the speaker?
So what did he say?
So let's move on.
So it's okay
what did he say? To do that, but it's not okay for her to rip off the paper.
Wait, sir. What did he,
no.
Sir, what did he say? You muted again. What did he say? If you can answer that, then we can have a discussion. If not, then I can't do nothing for you.
It's okay for you to make fun of her. But
sir,
it's not okay
listen to what I'm saying.
What
did he say?
What did he say? That she was incapable to answer questions. She doesn't know what she's doing. And we all know that was not her voice. Yes, the woman is older.
Is that making fun by criticizing her? So is that making fun by criticizing her performance in her role? Is that making fun of somebody?
But that's appropriate for him to make fun of her.
But you did, sir. I asked you what did he say, and you were talking about her performance in a role. You did not say anything about him making fun of her and her talking. But we can move on since you kind of lost that round.
Slow. It was kind of slow. So,
sir, look, we don't got all night.
Okay. So you think any other president will do that? Spend time doing that?
Doing what?
Can you picture Bush doing that? Clinton doing that?
Doing
Obama
what?
Doing that? Anyone, regardless Republican or Democrat, doing that?
Doing what?
Making fun of the speaker.
Sir,
in the video
we've already determined that he did not make fun, because when
I'm
meeting you again. When I asked you what did he say, you were talking about her job performance, saying that she wasn't doing a good job and she couldn't get things done. How was that making fun? That's just being critical of your performance. The same thing that anybody could do. If somebody says, "Hey, ABL, you don't do a very good job in your production. You're not handling your business right," that's not making fun of me. That's just a critique. That's not making fun. People do that all the time. They do it Trump all the time. That's not a problem. It's just a matter of opinion.
So you think the president should spend time doing that?
We can move on to the next thing. We don't got all night.
Okay, let's move on. The president, like I said, it was wrong for her to do that. But hey, tit for tat.
Sir, you're not listening to me. We can move on, or I can hang up.
From Michelle Obama, when Trump hit low, you go high. You don't behave the same way that Trump behaved. It's not wealthy for the country. It's not good for the country to behave the way Trump behaved. It's him. He behaved like a child. He made fun of people. Call little Nancy, little Mike, the Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
But this is for the child.
So
this is for the child behavior.
So Pocahontas,
This is not an adult.
Pocahontas is the one that lied about being Indian American
But
and using.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
You muted again. Pocahontas lied about being an Indian American on job applications and stuff like that. I mean, that's pretty important when you lie like that. She's a liar and has lied on many occasions. So what's worse, Trump saying Pocahontas or Pocahontas lying?
So
what's worse, Pocahontas lying or Trump calling her Pocahontas?
Okay, so Trump lied about the GDP. He said it was 4% in the speech. It's only 2.3%. He lied about cash and release. It's not true.
It does happen.
No. It's still releasing them. He just keeping in custody for a longer time. So they still releasing them. So he lied.
Wait, hold on. What you say just now?
Trump lied yesterday when he said in immigration, the cash and release policy is over. It's still doing the same thing because the only thing now you stay in custody for a longer time, but you're still being released after your 50 days, your 6 months. I think it's 50, 60 days.
So after you,
so it's a lie. So
after you're detained for a while, then you get released like anything else. You don't stay in jail forever. Okay. All right. What's your next? Huh?
So he reversed Obama's policy, and you could look it up. The Department of Labor, the economy, the last 15 months of Obama, the economy, the U.S. economy was creating 250,000 jobs a month, average. Under Trump, is creating 175,000 jobs.
Obama said the jobs aren't coming back. How are you going to do it? Wave a magic wand, but yet we have the lowest.
Yeah, but the jobs are not
we
coming
have
back.
the lowest black
That's
unemployment rate ever.
That's not
lowest
true.
Hispanic
That's not
unemployment
true.
rate. So what's going on?
Because of course, the economy keep creating jobs. The unemployment is going to go down.
Obama said jobs ain't coming back. So who's a liar?
He didn't say that. He said certain jobs are not going to come back. So why, for example, a job like for Levi's company is still in Mexico? Why GM open a plant in Mexico is not coming back? Certain jobs are not going to come back. It's common sense. Because
is that what he said?
It can be sustainable in the U.S.
Is that what he said?
They are
Certain
not
jobs?
sustainable for payment in the U.S. So I'm going to move on. I'm just doing a review.
Well, we don't have much time, so you got to wrap up.
So okay, the last lie of the last lie that Trump said.
Come on, tighten up. Let's get it together.
Okay, so what did he say? The cash. He said about the education thing. Actually, why we don't improve the public school system? Because the voucher program, there's a waiting list of 4 years. So you have to wait for 4 years to be in a list, and instead to fix the public schools, so we could have more students enrolled in better schools. So that's that, and then another thing.
Sorry, we're out of time. We're out of time.
Okay, I think Nancy
10 seconds.
Pelosi
Wrap
was
it up.
upset because Congress failed. Congress failed by blocking witnesses. It's like you go to a trial and they block a witness from testifying to make for you to make the judgment.
That'd be a wrap for you. Thank you for the call.
So gotta be a wrap.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you, sir.
All
Sir,
right.
thank you for the call. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, man. See you, right?
All right, shout out to Ivan, but we got to keep moving. We don't got all night. And shout out to everybody that is on the stream tonight. You guys have been fantastic as always. I really, really appreciate y'all. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 561, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 561. Sir, caller, can you hear me?
Okay, I just want to...
Caller, listen.
Yeah, I just want to...
Caller, hold on. Listen, caller. Turn the stream off in the background,
Hello?
please.
Okay, all right, hold on. My son have... hold on. He have the remote. Yeah, I just want to contribute to the show.
All righty. Well, thank you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you very well.
Okay. All right. My name is Charlotte, and I just want to contribute to the show. All right. Right now, somebody called, and he was saying something about Trump to make his stand of Nancy Pelosi. And I think he made some comment again that Michelle Obama said something like, when they go low, we go high. I think that slogan is supposed to use on the Democrat, because they are the people that they are losing. They are the ones that are going low, and Republicans are going high on everything. Everything that they go up on Trump is like they feel they are losing everything. So that one's supposed to use on them. When they go low, we go high. And one thing again is, I believe that I don't know if you can touch with some Republican leaders. I think they should use what happened yesterday for 2020 election commissioners. Like, he didn't rip up everything of Trump. He ripped up everything on Americans. Like job creation, he ripped it up. And Black American employment rate, he ripped. Like, it's like everything that she ripped it up is not about Trump. It's about American success. So that was supposed to be common sense to people who are so much into policies that they don't use their common sense to judge. So, you know, they should use their common sense that what they are doing is that they hate Trump so much that everything that Trump is doing doesn't matter anymore. So they don't care about American life anymore. So that's my little contribution over here.
Well, I thank you for the call. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. You know, hey, if they want to get some things going, tell them to go high and stop all the games because it's not working. Do things for Americans and have that be that. So I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. And shout out to the youngin as well, chiming in. I most certainly appreciate y'all for being here. All righty, 303. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 303. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Ken calling from Colorado.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, big fan. I've been listening to you for about a year. Love everything you say. You're a true patriot, and, you know, it's a good time. I think it's a good time with Trump getting the acquittal today. Obviously, the State of the Union was great. I really loved George W. I know he's kind of a controversial president among the libertarian right, but his post 9/11 speech was real good. If no one's actually seen that, that's a tearjerker. It was an emotional time. It was probably one of the only times that both sides of the House and the Senate came together and cheered real hard. So that's a great speech if anyone wants to YouTube it.
All righty, no doubt.
Yep, and I just wanted to say, yeah, again, great show. There was someone that called you at the end of one of your programs a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to echo his statements. I guess I'm, again, 100% Trump 2020. One thing that I did not like, and I want to echo your caller on, was the bump stock ban. And I just wanted to kind of echo that sentiment in that banning something, even though it's not exactly a firearm by definition, or it's not like a necessary part of a firearm, is kind of a dangerous, slippery slope to go down, because that's really what the Democrats use as a means to pass their assault weapons bans, is that they will basically designate a part, say a pistol grip or an adjustable stock, and say, well, the existence of that makes this rifle into an assault weapon, which is dangerous because it doesn't really make the firearm any more deadly than it would be. So kind of that arbitrary, capricious definition of what is, quote-unquote, an assault weapon becomes very precarious for the Second Amendment. So I will challenge Trump on that, and that was probably a bad decision, and I know that he turned off a lot of gun owners with that ruling. I guess it wasn't specifically his ruling, it was the ATF's ruling, but kind of his promotion of that post-Las Vegas shooting was not a great move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I do. I'm not a fan of the bump stock ban myself.
Yeah, I'm glad he kind of backed away from the national red flag laws. And, you know, again, coming from the Second Amendment community, I will say that there is some distrust regarding not only the bump stock ban, but also the fact that during the first 2 years when the Republicans controlled the House and the Senate, basically no pro-gun bills were passed. Basically, we could have had the Hearing Protection Act, we could have had national CCW reciprocity, but none of those were even brought to the floor, I don't think, for any kind of vote. So that's not a good look for the Republicans if they are going to say that they're the party of the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms. The fact that they had basically free reign for 2 years and didn't bring any pro-guns to the floor, much less a vote, much less to Trump's desk, that's just also not a great look.
I got you.
Yeah, but anyway, I kind of wanted to echo that guy's call. I know he was pretty upset about that, and as far as I could tell, he was probably not wanting to vote at all or wanting to vote third party. But I will say this, that this is the real world, and either a Republican or a Democrat is going to become president of the United States. It's not going to be a third party. It's not going to be a Gary Johnson, or it's not going to be a Ron Paul. So we really need to come together. And if you want to look at it as in terms of gun control, if voting for Trump is the lesser of two evils, then we got to vote for the lesser of two evils. We got to pick our battles in accordance to how threatening they are to our rights.
Yeah.
And so I will say, I guess I'll close with this, is that, yes, the bump stock ban was real bad. I don't like it, and I know a lot of gun owners don't like it. But if we let the Democrats win, we won't even have rifles to attach those bump stocks to.
There you have it, exactly, 100%, because it's like, all right, I'm not going to like every single thing that Trump does, and some things may be really bad. But if I agree with him on like 95% of things, then it makes sense for me to go for him versus a Democrat who I don't agree with on anything for the most part, maybe like 10 to 20% of things. It's just a matter of, because it's hard to be able to have a president that will do everything one particular side of the aisle once. It's very hard to have that happen. So as long as you can get the most out of a person, out of a particular person in power, then that's what you should go for, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you ever listened to Coleon Noir. He was a spokesperson for the NRA for a while. He's a young black attorney, but great guy. He's got a great channel, and he's pro-Trump as well, and I think they had interviewed him at one point. I don't remember whose program he was on. He was on one of the conservative programs. Basically, they asked him, so what do you think about the bump stock ban and Trump's promotion of that? What happened since you, Coleon, being on the inside of the NRA and some of the dealings that they do with legislatures and the executive? And basically, Coleon Noir said, yeah, that was a mistake. And what happened was Trump, being kind of an older person who is not a quote-unquote gun guy by nature, he saw bump stocks as more of an accessory, and it's not integral to the weapon system, so it could be sacrificed. And I know that Coleon Noir felt that it was a mistake. Many people in the NRA circles basically said, that's a mistake. That's not a good way to go. So I think that was one of those things where you have an older president who is not, deep in the Second Amendment community, who didn't really understand the full blowback that he would get from that decision, and he made it more or less. I mean, the ATF made it. They're the ones who basically said, yeah, attaching a bump stock makes this into a machine gun, which is not true.
Right, I understand.
You still only get one bullet fired for every press of the trigger, so it's not a machine gun. But the ATF, kind of with Trump's prompting, said, okay, we're just going to say it's a machine gun. We don't want people to have these stocks anymore. So not a great decision. Other than that, 100% pro-Trump. Love your show. Thank you for letting me call in, and I'll be listening to the rest of the show.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate you guys. Let me get to the next call here. 716 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. I have a question for you on this quid pro quo thing. If the Democrats say that that's illegal, well, then every one of them should be impeached and thrown off the bench, because they do that to American citizens every day. Every time Trump sends a bill out, to fund American citizens, they tell them no unless they get what they want. Their abortion clinics funded, money for the illegals. I mean, anything they want. So isn't that kind of the same thing?
It sounds like it to me.
It sounds like it to me too. So if they're going to actually impeach our president for that, I would think that they're doing it worse because they're doing it to their own citizens.
That's right. That's right. And it's crazy because they can do pretty much whatever they want, and there's no problem according to them. But then when the same thing or less is done on our side, then it's a problem.
Exactly. And by the way, it was Eric Holder who said his exact words were, when he was giving a speech, which was Obama's first AG, when they go low and the audience said, we go high, and he said, no, we kick them.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yes, I do.
Yes, yes. And as far as Pelosi goes, ripping up that speech, I saw a lawyer and a reporter talking today, and he said Pelosi broke the law, and the reporter asked him how, and I'm sorry, he read out the statute of it. I can't remember, but I guess destroying government property is against the law.
I did hear about that, and I think that's correct. Now, yeah, she could be in some trouble for that, for sure, because that was not hers to destroy.
Exactly. It would belong to the government. So I think somebody should be contacting her and on that statute, because according to her, you can't break the law. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You have to be a Democrat to be able to break the law.
That's right. Absolutely.
And as far as Romney, somebody asked where he gets his money from. He voted to stop the legalization of marijuana. And then as soon as it was legalized, he ran out and bought a bunch of marijuana stores.
Ah, okay.
So that's where he gets his money from.
Ah, I see. Very interesting.
Yes, but I'd like to say thank you. I love your show, and it's always a pleasure talking and watching all your people talk next to you.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Just hitting right on target every time. And thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. It helped me out tremendously. And if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and subscribe right now if you're not. And when you do subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when I go live and or post a new video. And shout out to the super chats. I got a couple more here. Thank you to brother Throat Puncher, who says Buttigieg wants the black vote, but also makes tests about microaggressions. Black folks hate weakness, and anyone that whines about that stuff is weak. Oh, very good point. You may see people on TV talking about, microaggression, is that, and the third, but that ain't the majority of us. We see that, it'd be like, well, what is this? Doesn't make any sense. But thank you for your donation. A very good point. Shout out to Captain Von Eric, who says, good sir, do you believe if asked that Mitt Romney's godly oaths would make him convict Pelosi to imprisonment for document destruction? That's a very good question right there. I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe he puts his quote-unquote godly oaths to the backside when it does not benefit him, but I ain't trying to judge nobody, so I digress. Let me get back to the calls. 712, you on the line. Who am I speaking to? 712, you on the line.
Hi, ABL. This is Al from Iowa.
All right, Al, what's going on?
I want to touch a little bit on the president's speech, if you wouldn't mind. The one thing that I was there's a couple things, just tear-jerkings there, let's put it that way. But the one thing that I thought that was kind of important was, actually there's quite a few, but was the the brother that got killed by the illegal immigrant that was released, and of Trump's proposal that basically we should try to give the right to the people, the victims, that they have a right to sue a sanctuary city or state.
Yes.
I think. Go ahead.
No, that was a great thing that he was talking about right there, because you should be able to sue. The state should actually, it's one thing that the government should do is protect its citizens, and if you are intentionally not doing that, then you're responsible as the state of wherever they are.
Exactly. That's my wife and I are both jumping up and down on that one. So, I mean, I would like to really see that go through, because there is a lot of that's not called for. That's, to me, even if a judge, I believe it should be even a judge. If a judge releases them because of that policy of that city or county, or even the county attorney or the district attorney, they ought to be charged too, or they ought to be sued too. So I thought that was one of the biggest points that should be brought up, and we need to, all of us need to kind of call our congressmen, and because this is going to be, that would be definitely hard to pass through the House right now. So we need to call and try to see if we can get this or I doubt if it'll get passed with the Democrats in the House. But at least if we could get them on record of saying that they would go for this or not go for it, that would be a good thing. And if it did get passed, I believe it would go past through the Senate. So, and you were asking a question, who would you think would be a good House Speaker?
Yes.
I'm going to throw a hat in there. Jim Jordan.
Yeah, Jim Jordan, he'd be great. Every time I see him on television, he always does a great job.
He is sharp. I mean, I don't know. I mean, watching through the impeachment, I was very impressed with the questions that he was asking, and then just basically the answer. To me, he would be a very sharp Speaker of the House. So that's about the only things I have to say. I know you got other callers coming up, so I'm going to let you go. But like I said, there's a lot of things with the president's speech. I can go on. I mean, I do believe in that people with their children, have a right to decide what schools are best for them. And I have a feeling that Trump had something to do, very much to do, with the involvement of that little black gal. So, you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
So, and then, I mean, I'm an ex-military guy, and watching that brought tears to my eyes of when I came back. Excuse me. I gotta let you go.
Thank you for the call.
I can't answer that. No more. Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I feel him. I feel him on that. I know he was talking about what he was going to say was the ex-military guy that had went to Afghanistan. He was in the Army, and he fought over in Afghanistan. He came back. He had PTSD, and then he wound up on the street, got caught up in drugs, went in and out of jail, and then he was able to come out and get into a program that taught him some skills, some construction skills like carpentry, big brick masonry, and whatnot. And then from there, he was able to get a very good job, get off of drugs, and get reunited with his family. So that was a beautiful moment. And, you know, I feel my man that got choked up, because you see guys that come back from war, you know, they're not right. Sometimes they end up on the street. Drugs sometimes gets a hold of them. Suicide is very high, you know. So, you know, it can definitely be rough. And I'm glad that my man was able to overcome all of that and not be a statistic, but be a victor. That's what I'm trying to just push for everyone, to be a victor. You know, if you're in a bad space, you can come up out of that, and then you could do great things right here in this country, the best country on planet Earth, the US of A. So, yeah, shout out to my man for the call. But let me get to the next call here. 214 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Tariq, man.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, not much, man. I'm just saying, like, man, were you at any all shocked at what Mitt Romney did?
Nah, not since I've been seeing him for the past few months and all of that. Nah, not at all. This is pretty much what I thought.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not shocked at all. I mean, in fact, like, I would have been shocked I would have been more shocked if he didn't do that. Because, you know, you got to understand, like, Mitt Romney, this guy is a snake, man. Like, you know, when he was first running for the Senate, he didn't really talk that much crap about Trump because he know that the Republicans wouldn't have voted for him. Like, what the clown did was wait until he got elected. And then what was the first thing he did when he got elected is he criticized Trump.
That's right.
He writes an article, Trump is not, what did he say? Trump is not rising to the mantle of the presidency. And he doesn't say anything about how the hostile Democrats are behaving, how they're blocking Trump on every move, how Rashida Tlaib and them, one of the first things they say is they want to impeach Trump. He doesn't say anything about the Democrats. And then all throughout the Trump's presidency, he's just attacking Trump. Like, and then even in his stupid speech that, you know, I think Mitt Romney's just trying to go down in history. I mean, I think that's what he's doing. His speech was not powerful. It was weak. The media is going to try to play it up as if it's some powerful patriotic speech. But everyone who understands this knows that Mitt Romney did this because he doesn't like Trump, man. Like, it's petty, bro. If you notice, bro, never Trumpers, it's like their whole focus is Donald Trump. Like, I don't get it. Like, Trump gets under their skin where all they do is trash Trump. Like, just look at George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband. Very disrespectful to his wife. You see that your wife is working for the president, but you are trashing Donald Trump, putting your wife in a compromising position. Now I see the guy on CNN trashing Trump more, and all these guys do is focus on Trump. Same thing with Anna Navarro. She says nothing about the Democrats. It's like liberals do no wrong. Everything is Trump. So, you know, the way the liberal media is acting like Mitt Romney broke for the party, I'm like, you like the American public is not stupid. We knew this clown was going to do this. So yeah, man, Mitt Romney's a traitor to me. I mean, I hope this guy gets punished. Like, he is such a clown, man. Like, I like the guy. He was sounding weak on the floor. You know, he's saying, well, I know this is going to hurt me and everything, just so that he can try to look patriotic, man. So yeah, I'm not shocked at Mitt Romney. I'm really happy that Susan Collins, who I was very upset about her, and at least Lisa Murkowski, at least criticized the Democrats, and you know, I'm glad that they voted against the impeachment, man. But even in the State of the Union, man, just seeing Nancy Pelosi's behavior as she's ripping up the Constitution, all these petty things that Democrats do, you know, Mitt Romney doesn't say one thing about that. Could you imagine if Trump probably, you know, did a mean swipe to Nancy Pelosi or called her out or said something mean? This clown would have took to Twitter and said it is beneath the president to do that. But when he sees these Democrats disrespecting Donald Trump like that behind the man's back, it just seems like he just can't find his voice to say something. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I want to say is the Congressional Black Caucus at Trump's State of the Union, you know, they didn't get up and clap for anything when he was saying about black unemployment being low, you know, black people doing good. Why didn't they stand up and clap for that? You know what I'm saying? It's like all these clowns want to do is complain. You know, that's the problem with the Congressional Black Caucus. They do nothing for black people. Black people, I bet you, ABL, if you go to a random African-American, be like, can you name like 5 members of the Congressional Black Caucus? They wouldn't be able to do that. Nobody knows who the hell they are. They do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, you know, this is a major victory for Trump. But I just hope in 2025 we don't forget the slime Mitt Romney is. I hope Utah votes this clown out. Like, if he gets another term, I mean, this just shows that you can just disrespect the Republican Party. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. And one last thing, man, and I'm done. That last call you had kind of angered me. When he was like, give Mitt Romney a chance, give him 5 years. That's the problem with the Republicans. They're too soft. There are too many soft Republicans like this. They have no consequences. If you give them 5 years of change, Mitt Romney won't change. Like, where do these guys get this from? Like, it's like, do you not see this guy's behavior? He never liked Trump. It's the same with John McCain. These guys will not change. Once they hate Trump, there is no coming back. So, yeah, man, I was 100% with you when you was like, no, I'm not going to give him a chance. That's what you're supposed to do. When you betray people, they're done. You cut them off. You don't give them 5 years of change. Get out of here. All right, man.
Thank you for the call, man. My man Tariq dropping bombs. always dropping bombs. Always a great call. And thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I got about 20 minutes or so left. I'm going to show a video right quick. I just came across my desk. Hopefully this is going to come up here. And then this is my first time ever seeing it. So hopefully everything's, well, I'm seeing the preview, so it's not nothing crazy, but it looks pretty good. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys a preview. Now, what I'm seeing is like a gaggle. I guess you could call them a gaggle of liberal protesters sitting on the ground doing something. Let's see what they're saying. They're saying honor your oath. How about get off the ground? Get off the ground. Get off the ground. Get off the ground. Then take a bath. How about that? But I'll move on. Let's get back to the calls. Alrighty, let's go. 228, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 228.
Chris Brown. Hey, it's Chris.
Alrighty, Chris, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, I was calling about the president address last night, and I want to point out that if you watch what the Democrats were doing, I believe we're at a point, and if it holds true, if we get the House back and we keep the Senate, the first 6 months of his election, I believe we'll see a fracture in the Democratic Party. We're going to see probably a smaller third party. It's probably bigger than most we've ever seen, but it's going to be a purge in that party, and we'll see a number of AOCs and Maxine Waters kind of get pushed out, I believe, and they'll come more centrist, because if you look at it, what they're telling us now, people who were probably moderate Republicans 10, 15 years ago, in today's world are considered far right. And it's just crazy. So I don't know what's your take on that?
As far as what, like the party kind of like switching on the left, people like leaving because they gone too far left and they coming to the right.
Yeah, well, look at this. If you were noticing, like I was just watching the Democrats clap. Now there was a lot that weren't clapping, but there was some that was like in that awkward stage of I'm a clap, but what are they gonna think? And there was quite a few of them. So what I think is, if Trump wins this next election and we get the House back, what we'll see is a fracture. We're gonna see the centrist Democrats, the ones that are not so far left, purge out some of these AOCs and some of these Maxine Waters. And I don't know. That's just my take on it, because I'm making a offhand prediction here, and I don't know if you noticed the way some were, like some of the things that they should have been clapping for, like things proponents of longer time at home once you have a child, things that they normally would clap for. There was some like, should I clap or what's going on? So,
well, that could happen. They could purge some of the far leftists out, but that's a big if, because the far leftists right now are pretty much dominating the party. They're getting all the airtime. They're getting all the attention. They're pretty much driving the narrative. So that might be kind of a hard thing to accomplish, but it's possible. It could happen.
Well, I guess I'm looking at it like, I mean, how much longer can basically like the media push this narrative? I mean, it's getting to the point where it's people that I work with that were hardcore Democrats tell me under the breath, man, I can't. They done went completely haywire. So they're even seeing like some of the things that they'll push that Trump is saying. They're doing their own research and like, man, it's like so blatant that even people that we argued with 5 years ago are like, yeah, man, I can't even get with this, and they're coming to the Republican Party, you know, just off the fact that it's just too far left for them.
Right, I see that absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I want to say, man. Because I get on record because I said with some of the issues in the media, I said even with like the transgender, the people, I said 4 years ago when I first started hearing about it, I said, if you know, this is gonna be a detriment to everybody. And then sure enough, I mean, it took 4 years, and I thought that was pretty quick, even by my prediction. So looking at this, I just want to, you know, we're gonna put on record, hey, I believe if we win that, the first 6 months we're gonna see a change. We're gonna see a falling out between the Democratic Party and maybe a smaller third party pop up. Don't know on which side. Maybe you're right that they're so far left they'll be the bigger party. I don't know, but I think we may actually see a third. I think we may see a third party come up in the first 6 months of the second presidency. You have a good night, man.
Thank you for the call. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. 404, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I made it on the show again, Anthony.
I see. Congratulations.
You've been trying to ignore me, but you cannot keep a good tranny down, Anthony.
Oh boy. All right. Let's. Hey, we family friendly. Hey, just relax. Just be cool.
I'm family friendly too, Anthony. But anywho, Anthony, did you see the speech last night, Anthony?
Yeah, I did see the speech. It was a great speech.
I liked it, Anthony. He didn't do too bad, Anthony.
Oh, so you gonna vote Trump 2020? What's going on?
Whatever, Anthony. You must be done lost your mind. I mean, what is wrong with you? No, I'm not gonna vote for you, orange man, Anthony.
Hey, you said it was a good speech. I mean, who you gonna vote for then is gonna have a speech like that? You gonna vote for a creepy Joe?
No, Anthony, I'm voting for P. Booty, Anthony. I told you who I'm voting for. You know who I'm voting for, Anthony.
Of course, that makes sense. Yeah, Pete Booty.
Thank you, Anthony. But did you see Nancy Pelop's speech, Anthony?
Yeah, real petty, super petty.
She just tore his speech up and just ripped out his heart and just tore it up, Anthony. How you like that, boo?
I mean, it didn't do anything. Like, he's still going to win in November, and he's still going to do whatever he want to do, so it don't matter.
Whatever, Anthony. But anywho, because P. Booty won in Iowa, and he is going to be your next president. Your next president will be from the LGBTQ, ABCDEFGARU, and all this times why, Anthony?
I don't think so, because he's polling at 0% in South Carolina, so he might do well in Iowa, but I don't know about anywhere else, so he's not going to be the guy, I don't think.
Whatever, Anthony. He's going to have 100% of Atlanta, Georgia, Anthony.
I bet he will.
Gay all day, and gay is the way, Anthony.
Yeah, that does make sense for Atlanta.
Whatever, Anthony. But anywho, and I see your man, he got off today on his little impeachment.
He beat the case. They can't say nothing. 2 counts, not guilty. He can just move on. They're talking about, oh, we're going to impeach him. We're going to get him out of office. I can't tell. He beat the case. So it's all good now.
I guess the articles didn't fit, so you must have quit, too.
That's right. The articles don't fit. You must have quit.
Whatever, Anthony. I got an article that'll fit on him anyway.
All right. Let's relax. Family show. Come on, sir.
Excuse me, Anthony. It's ma'am, boo. Be trying to sneak that in. But anywho, I just wanted to call and talk to you and just wish you congratulations to your little man. That he gonna be your little president for the next couple of months, because in November, P. Booty will be your president, Anthony.
Hey, 4 more years of Donald Trump. Get used to it. Might as well get ready, because it ain't going to be Pete Booty, as you call him.
It will.
Not at all. We're gonna be good. 4 more years, make America great again. All that good stuff.
If we have people, it will be even better. But anywho, I got to go, Anthony, because it's almost time for me to get down there to the club in Atlanta and make Atlanta gay again.
All right, now thank you for the call.
Oh, Anthony.
What's up?
I just wanted to tell you that when I saw her rip that speech up, the only thing I could just think about was just how I'd be dreaming about Kevin from Kevin's Corner, just ripping his T-shirt off.
All right, look, family friendly show. You can't be going down there, bro. You were doing good up until just then, so just relax.
But he was talking about his T-shirts on Teespring, Anthony. I'm just saying.
We don't got no time for none of that crazy stuff now. I need you to relax. Just calm. Just be cool.
Okay, Anthony. Well, I'll see you next time, Anthony Brian E. Logan.
All right, now. Thank you for the call.
Bye, Anthony.
Is that Kevin? Is it Kevin? I don't think it's Kevin. It's somebody that knows Kevin because he was just promoting the shirts. So shout out to my man Kevin from Kevin's Corner. That's my dog. But is that him? I don't know if that's him or not. I can't tell. But yeah, I got some wild callers. That's a consistent troll that I have not been able to figure out who it is yet. But they're trolling. All right. 510, you're in the line. I'm speaking to you. 510.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Brother Throat Puncher.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. Seen a few things, especially on Tim Pool's channel. Ironically, he's left, but he's actually even saying, no, Nancy Pelosi, you really messed up. You've lost a lot of people. People were tweeting saying, I don't want to vote for you anymore. I don't want to vote for Democrats anymore. Now they did that, also telling her to resign. You know?
That's right.
And what I find also hilarious, like I said, during that super chat I sent you, Pete Buttigieg is like, oh, I'm going to run for president. Okay, you're doing Democrat, but most Democrats want to get the black vote. But if you understand anything, most black folks aren't down with the LGBT, A, B, C, D, up, down, left, right, and press start.
That's right. That's why he's polling so low South Carolina. They're not really with that. They're not, it's going to be a shock to the left. They're going to be like, you don't support the gay. It's like they think that the left, they think that being gay is the same thing as being black. It's like, nah,
No. It's kind of a tragedy that we're kind of like that at times, but at the same time, it clearly shows Buttigieg doesn't know anything about, his base. Not really.
That's right.
And even more so, okay, say if the unlikely possibility he did win. Unlikely, I know, but just be with me here. He wins. Next thing you know, he's doing work with all the other countries around the world. Most of these countries that aren't European are not pro-gay. Not Japan, even though they're our allies. Not China. Oh, I think China would easily just not even take him seriously and give him a backhand, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah, that China is a whole different world. Like, you don't even vote out there. You just get whoever they select for you. They're not going to, it's a whole different place. We have, America is beautiful. We don't have the restraints that other countries have. Go around the world and see if you could do whatever you want to do like you can over here. You might mess around and get thrown in jail and they don't see you no more.
And even then, I'm like thinking, okay, China's looking at this like a gay president. Wow, America really has fallen. Hey, let's start a war with them. I don't think this guy's ever going to fight.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I don't see Pete Buttigieg, I don't see him being strong, being authoritative. I don't see him, getting in the faces of other people, especially our enemies, saying, no, we're not going to take this. I see our enemies just simply running over him.
Yeah.
And it was a wrap when I looked at the Crowder thing saying, oh, microaggressions. I'm like, no, you did not just put that there. You did not just put. Are you showing microaggressions?
I mean,
really,
that's
you're trying to get
not,
the black vote.
Yeah, that's not going to fly. Trying to get the black vote. Talking about microaggressions. We're not into that kind of stuff. It like you said, make it look weak. It just ain't going to fly.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm living in Oakland. I'm like thinking, okay, yeah, it's liberal out here, but if you go to East Oakland, they ain't with that. They're really not with that. And I'm like thinking, you're talking about microaggressions, you're talking about all that. Yeah, nope, nobody's gonna vote for you. Just stop. Bernie, who's a freaking socialist, has a better chance than you. And nobody likes socialists. No real American likes socialists. And I'm gonna say this: Brexit on my end, Trump 2020, and I'm a traitor to California, but I'm a patriot to the United States of America. God bless. All right, thanks for taking my call, Anthony.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller, Brother Throat Puncher. I most certainly appreciate him. And you guys have been great tonight. It's been an excellent show. I appreciate y'all for joining. Shout out to the super chatters. Thank you to Captain Von Eric, who says, when Obama said, tell Vlad I can help him better once I get reelected, was he telling Vlad to do his part first, or is that quid pro quo? Very good observation. And thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to Robin Butler, BHE Designs, my man who designed these beautiful flags behind me, who says, I am shocked that no one has coined the phrase booty care for Pete's healthcare plan. Appreciate all that you do, man. Keep it up. Hey, thank you for your support, man. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Milosh, who says, keep up the good work, ABL. Will do, man. I thank you for being here. Shout out to Captain Von Eric, who says, good sir, what if every time the house switched hands, anyone on the losing side with 12 or more years of service was gone? That's interesting. Kind of like, a tournament type thing, a game type thing. That'd be fun to see. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. And thank you all for joining. Shout out to Say Hi, who says just now, thanks ABL, another good job. Hey, it's all good. I appreciate y'all for doing whatever you do and just helping the movement keep moving. I'm going to go ahead and turn the phone calls off right now. It's right around 11. They got about 4 minutes to 11. And again, thank you all for joining. Hey, it's a lot of good things happening, but I can't wait until we get to the general election. Like, let's get through the primary. Can we get the results of, what was that, Iowa? Can we get those results? How about that? And then we have New Hampshire. I think that'll be next Tuesday, the 11th. That'd be interesting to see. And Super Tuesday is March, I think, the 3rd. Yes, March 3rd. And I think that's when most states have their primary. So go out there and vote. Look at your local area, a website or whatever, news, and figure out when your day to vote in the primary is. Okay, so go out there and vote. Don't get comfortable thinking, no, we got it in the bag. They can't beat us. Nah, go out there and vote. Why not? Just, put a nail in the coffin and make sure secure the vote. As a cool kid say, what they say, secure the bag, secure the vote, and make sure that we actually are able to be successful in the election in November. Get into the whole rhythm of voting, vote now, and then vote again. Then when they see the turnout, it's so higher. It's higher than the Democrats even right now. It'll demoralize them, and then you go out and vote again. It'll be more of the same. So thank y'all for joining in again. Shout out to the mods. We got Michelle A, Bill from the Hills, Shreebs, Ansel, Zealandson, True Helper. Thank you all. Killer Shushi, of course. Michelle A. You guys always do a great job keeping them trolls in line. And I thank y'all for that. Liza Jean, I see you, of course, as well. And I think that'll be a wrap. So did I get everything? I think I did. Oh, yeah. Also, I am going to put these on audio streaming platforms, I promise. I'm going to get some time tomorrow because time is really precious to me. I'm going to get some time tomorrow and just set it up. And I think I'll start with the one that was on Saturday and this one on streaming platforms. So If you want to hear the replay, you don't have to watch the entire video. You can listen to it through your podcast platform or whatever you want to do that way. So I promise to do that. And if you don't see it, please bug me until you get it. But I do plan on doing that tomorrow, getting that all set up. I know where I got to go. I know what I got to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get her done. And I think that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. In peace.